Hi guys, what's up? I hope you're doing well today. I love the chat. It's so sweet and gentle and kind, which is so unlike us. But no, I hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful day today. Melanie, you will learn the lore of Credence and Mikey. They both were in radio. Thank you, Melanie. This one's cute too, needs pockets as well, but I do like this dress. Let's check. Okay, we're gonna do the American. I'm learning to be a bit more American, so I'm doing the weather in Fahrenheit, and then we convert it so that I can tell what it is. So it's currently 71 degrees Fahrenheit, which still doesn't mean anything, hasn't sunk in yet, but that's 22. Oh my God, that's hot. That's hot. It's hot, y'all. Um, 22 degrees. Yeah, I feel it. I feels 22. I don't know why 74 or what was it, 71 means nothing, but 22 means something to me. Brunswick stew doesn't mean anything to me, so I'll need an explanation on that, Mikey. Hector, thank you so much for sending in the clip earlier. We're gonna watch that just shortly here. Good to see you too, Mikey. Mayor, I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. Please don't strain yourself, okay? Please rest up and please just, we know you're here. If you need something, just mash the board, mash the chat. But other than that, try and rest and we will help you out, okay? Um, 87. I don't know the conversion either. I have to switch the app between Celsius and Fahrenheit in order to learn that. Hi, Courtney. How are you doing today? Beverly, nice to see you again. What did you guys have for dinner? Mikey's already told us, but he hasn't explained exactly what that is. I had, well, I don't know if that counts, but because it's not quite dinner yet. So it's only 5:23. That's quite early here. Sashina, I bet you had something to do with one of the animals on your farm. Yeah. Oh, I called it. She had lamb burritos. See? I knew that. Sorry. I'm very loud. Soup, bread, and salad. I like soup, bread, and salad. Those are very good. 96 degrees, Melanie. Where are you today? What part of the world have you landed in today, my sweet girl? Um, Hector, I just want to say, like, shit, the quality you sent your video is so good. Spoil me. Thank you. Um, OKC. Is that Oklahoma City? I have a vague inkling of that. Yeah, Oklahoma City. Probably because of football. Do they have a team that they call the OKC team? And then there's the team name after that. Uh, Hi, Steffi B. Glad that you're here today. Thunders? I don't think Thunders doesn't sound like an NFL football team to me. I like to watch the NFL bloopers and when they're mic'd up. I find that so funny. Yeah. Airport code is OKC. Well, that's probably why, because I, for weird reasons, know airport codes a lot. Um, the airport code where I live is YYJ. And that was the Twitter. It's like the Twitter, when Twitter first came out, that's how, what the hashtag was for the city automatically. So, hashtag YYJ. Um, okay, so let's get watching this. It's Judge Manning again. I guess it's Manning Money Monday everywhere. Oh, Allie B, hi. You are going into a hot yoga class because you're so swollen, blah, feeling. But hopefully y'all will still be going when you get out. I like saunas. Infrared saunas are my favorite. And I used to do a lot of good work in an infrared sauna. But flush out, that's hilarious. Do you know what? Oh, that reminds me of a story from working at the bank, but let's just actually watch some court. Um, hot yoga. First of all, yoga's a pyramid scheme. You understand well, maybe you don't yet, Allie, but Allie, yoga's a pyramid scheme. Just keep that in mind. Do it for what you love. Don't let people suck you into wanting to be a teacher and then wanting to teach them and then fucking selling their classes and going to fucking India to an ashram and getting your new name. Like that's super common here. It's a pyramid scheme. So even though I live in like hippie town city where they've got hot yoga on every corner, I've never done yoga. Okay, give me 1 second. Beverly had red beans and rice for dinner, which sounds yummy. I've made red beans and rice on the show before. Remember when I made that my Popeyes copycat recipe? Um, I gotta make the screen smaller proper. But Hector sent this to me, which was I'm so thankful for. Um, and there we go. We'll make it fit. And of course, we love Judge Manning. She's the best in the world. We don't now, when I used to say, oh, I don't have AC upstairs, there's one AC. Down here, no AC. I'm dying. Okay, here we go.
All right, so we'll start with Ashley Rodriguez at AC/DC. All right, this is number 21. Where's Bostic? Is she over here? I see Bostic. It's number 21. 23, CP 218262. This is Ashley
Well, thank you for buffering at the
Rodriguez.
moment because that gives me a great opportunity to explain, thank you to Hector, that the person we're looking for, I know this looks like a busy scene here, but Judge Manning, of course, top left, I suppose, as we're looking at the screen. I hope that's right. And then, they flip things and don't tell you. And then top right is the woman in where it says AC/DC. I always think of music.
There is a $2,500 split bond with no bond being on, looks like, all the felonies. Identity theft or fraud when using, possessing, identifying information concerning a person, ×2. Forgery in the third degree, financial transaction card theft, possession of a knife or a firearm during the commission of a felony, possession of two controlled substance. Another identity theft when using, possessing, identifying info concerning another. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 total. I'm sorry. 18.
That's my lucky number,
Let me
21.
count it again. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 of those total. Possession of drug-related objects, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, theft by receiving stolen property. 10. So
we don't play Manning on here enough. We're going back for another pretrial. That was a good one.
There's 10 of those total. Possession of drug-related objects, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, theft by receiving stolen property.
In regards to this defendant for prior cycle, she currently is on open case for theft by conversion, theft, fraud when using information concerning a person. That's one case, and then she has another open case, reckless conduct, cruelty in the second, firearm during purchase, manufacture, sale, distribution, trafficking, illegal drugs, and meth, trafficking in ecstasy. Second case, nothing further.
All right. Go ahead, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Rodriguez is 35 years of age. She was born in Brooklyn, New York, has been in Atlanta since the age of 18. Her mother lives in New York as far as all of her immediate family, including her 4 children. In Georgia, she has cousins, uncles, and aunts. She was able to get her GED, and she went to high school in New York. As far as work, she owns 2 businesses, which is a clothing boutique and a sneaker boutique that she operates online and has aspirations to continue to do when she is released. I believe, according to pretrial, she had no felony convictions or failure to appears. And as far as her situation, Your Honor, I would like to say that we have actively been in talks with an inpatient treatment program in New York. I have the address, and the name of it is called Su Casa. Speaking with the intake director, she has essentially told me that the only formality needed is just to do an over the phone intake screening interview. Other than that, once that is completed, she'd be accepted into the program. We understand, I believe she's been incarcerated for 88 days. So by the time that the 90-day mark would hit, that interview would have taken place, which I believe would be Wednesday. And she should have an acceptance into that inpatient treatment program. Speaking with Ms. Rodriguez, I believe it is my understanding, it's clear to me that the root of the issues here is that she does need help for a drug problem that she unfortunately has found herself in. I've spoken with her mother. Her mother right now is taking care of all 4 of her children in New York. That her mother lives 15 minutes away from the inpatient treatment facility. So she has every incentive to go there and get the help that she needs. She'd be willing to have a condition on bond being an ankle monitor. Our main focus is just try and get her to that inpatient program in New York City, Your Honor. So the defense is asking for bond not to exceed $100,000 total.
All right, what says the state?
Thank you, Judge.
Hold on. I would like to say something first, Your Honor.
The court already heard Ms. Rodriguez's criminal history.
What says what says kitchen?
Ms. Rodriguez has.
What says kitchen? Before you say, because honestly, let's be real. I'm sorry, but this court, they never say anything. They always say, we want bond to remain the same. They're very dangerous. Regardless of what they've done, they have no deference or no fucking balls to take a chance on anybody. So I honestly don't even bother with what the prosecution says in Judge Manning's court, and she doesn't either. Have you heard her sometimes? She'll be like, literally, make a fucking offer. She doesn't say it like that, but that's what she means. So, what do I think? I think that I don't know. I mean, leaving 4 kids behind in New York, not very cool. Running 2 businesses, sort of difficult, but you know what? You can make anything sound like that. I think that, unfortunately, the reality of the situation in Fulton County is that this type of crime is not something that if I lived in Fulton County and paid taxes there, I wouldn't think that this is the kind of crime that I would want to see sitting for a long time without indictment, taking up tax dollars, because you know how much it costs. They could pay the victims back 10 times over the actual money that was stolen instead of housing these people in jail. But let's see what happens. Let's see what the prosecution says. Oh, maybe he'll surprise me. I'm not going to hold my breath.
Use the identity of a few victims, as the court is aware. We do believe that she is at risk of reoffending. She is a danger to the community, and we do believe that she is a flight risk. She knows how to copy and make false IDs. Clearly, I believe Mr. Pozo has already told us that she is originally not from here, so she does have contacts in other states. State would ask for a bond in the aggregate amount of $300,000. No contact with any of the victims. Stay off the internet to report to court when ordered. Ankle monitor paid for by the county, and to stay out of Fulton County if possible.
All right. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. Could have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew. Court, lawyer, medical, employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment schedule, the exact location you'll be working, and also any sort of addiction or mental health treatment, but you have to supply proof of enrollment and proof of attending. Stay away from 3172 Roswell Road. You got to stay out of Fulton County unless you're here for court or to see your lawyer. No further contact with Michael, CHALARRIA. That's your co-defendant. No further contact. And Ms. Ayer, these are all on the previous bond on your Danielle Henderson, Duran, Dan Gonzalez, Mike Jones, Terry Davis, Victor Gutierrez, Cook Hong Kang, Kang, Abimel, Abimael Vargas Vasquez, Jeffrey Van Gogh, Bonifacio Ramirez, Hector Torres, Jesus Navarrete. And I think I already said no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. That ankle monitor, like I said, will be paid for by the county. Also, no internet. No internet purchasing. How about that? 10,000 on each count. Right now, that's no bond. 500 on 15, 500 on 16, and 1,500 on 17. So 10,000 on 1 through 14, Ms. Arid, and then 500, 500, and 1,500. Best of luck to you, ma'am. You can leave the booth.
Okay, so a lot of victims, and I totally understand that. Actually, this is a great segue into a story that I have where I had my identity stolen, like 100% stolen. And I'll tell you the story now because even having had that happen to me, I still, as a whole, believe the justice system needs to refocus their direction in how they handle these types of, in how they handle all of the types of incarceration and charging, basically, in this county. It's just out of control. But what happened to me was, in fact, and the timing is important. I had just separated from my ex-husband. We had just split the first month that we split. And I had a new job, and I had in that my bank account basically every dollar that I had ever saved for me and my daughter to go forth in our new life. I'd rented a new apartment for us, and luckily I had paid for that apartment already, because I about 6 or 8 months earlier, my car had been broken into at the house I'm in right now, and my wallet had been stolen. I went to the bank and I reported that my driver's license had been stolen, and they knew all the details. It was flagged. You guys remember I used to work at a bank. I know what the procedure is. Flagged. So I've just moved maybe 10 days into this new apartment by myself for the first time with my daughter. And I'm driving to work and we went to Walmart to buy something, and my card was declined. And I thought, well, that's sort of weird. But I had enough cash on me, and I bought what we needed. And the next morning I went and I was getting coffee, and my card was declined again. And I thought, well, that is really annoying. So I went to the bank, or I went to work, and I call the bank first thing. And they're like, well, you closed all of your accounts yesterday. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, you closed all your bank accounts yesterday. And then you opened new ones. And I was like, why would I do that? What are you talking about? And I said, when was this done? So what happened was somebody literally impersonated me and went into the branch, a different branch of my bank. And they impersonated me so that they would get them to give them a new bank card. They stole all my money, every dollar that I had. They took it out. They maxed out my credit card. They got checks written on the account. They got a new debit card issued to them. And the bank had to bypass the screen that said, this person's ID is stolen and you need to be careful of this. And I was just livid. And the bank on the phone was like, yeah, we'll have to look into this. I was like, look into fucking what? You need to deal with this right now. I want my money back. And they're like, no, you need to go deal with the RCMP, which is the federal police, where the crime occurred. So I had to drive 2 hours up island to this fucking buttfuck nowhere RCMP detachment. And first of all, again, I've worked at a bank. I know what the procedure is here. I'm well aware that this is already an absolute shit show. But I go to the RCMP office, and the RCMP officer is like, I'm explaining to him, and he's like, this is, and I shit you not, I'm not lying to you. These are quotes. And I was so mad at the time. He goes, this is not CSI, okay? Crimes don't get solved in an hour. And I was like, oh, I know that. However, they went into the bank, the TD Bank over there, okay? And they have a fucking camera everywhere. So all you need to do is get their fucking picture and then give it to me, and I'll put it on my goddamn Facebook page, and we will take care of it. I'll shame them out of whatever fucking hole they live in, okay? I don't care if you want to do your job or not. Just get me the goddamn picture. They went to Walmart, Home Depot, all this shit using my card, and they're like, well, we have to make sure that you're really the real person. And I said, really? Well, what are you saying? And they said, well, your identity's compromised now. There is no way to tell if you have been arrested for things before now that you don't even know about or anything. And I said, excuse me? And they said, yeah, the only way that you can really protect yourself is to change your name. That's what you're going to have to do. And I said, how about you just run to the bank and get the fucking video and we'll take a look and we can talk about who's who. Okay? So the guy, I was less than impressed with the RCMP, but I got the case started. I now go down to the TD Bank on a bit of a tear. And they told me it was under investigation. And I said, listen, that's actually really cute. But I don't care if it's under investigation or not. You like, it's so obvious to me that they erred. I actually said to them, I was like, you need to go pull the teller off the line who had dealt with this and retrain them right now. It is that critical that I will remain on the phone until you do that. And they're like, excuse me, ma'am. I'm like, excuse me? Go pull them off the line. I know you know who did it. They have a code on the computer. Go fucking get them. And so they sort of lip serviced me for a month. I had no money. Finally, after 1 month, I went to the TD Bank and I threw a hissy fit in the lobby. And I just said to them, I was like, I'm a single mother and my fucking $5,000 is nothing compared to your $2.4 billion in profit that you made last quarter. So you're going to go ahead and get me my fucking money right now, or I'm going to call the fucking news down here and we're going to talk about it because this is out of control. And they were like, oh, let me get you a bank draft. I'm like, cash. I want the cash only. And they were like, do you want us to open you a new account? I was like, not on my fucking life would I ever bank here again. And I still get very frustrated when I call there and deal with them if I have to. But anyway, so nothing happened. Nothing happened for about 8 months. The police never called me. I never got anything in the mail. Nothing. I only got my money back because I freaked out. So after 8 months, I get a letter in the mail. And it was from the BC Prosecution Service letting me know that they were prosecuting somebody for this crime. And I thought, oh my gosh, wow. I've been bad-mouthing the RCMP for the last 8 months. I guess I'm going to have to eat some words here. And I called the investigator. I called them. I said, hey, I guess I owe you an apology because I gotta say, I thought you were sitting on your ass doing nothing over the last 8 months to solve this crime. But in fact, I've gotten a letter and it appears that you've arrested somebody. And he was confused, looked into it. He goes, oh, no, I didn't arrest anybody. The person was arrested with your ID in their possession, and that's who we've charged. And I was like, oh, perfect. So I will continue to badmouth the RCMP and their absolutely lackluster and shitty policing servicing. I stand to this day. But yeah. So I've been through real identity theft where they literally stole every dollar that I had. And I needed it at that time so badly. It was the scariest time of my life. Do you know how long it took me to get another bank account and put the money in? So long. So long. I would keep it, scared that it would go away. Just absolutely scared. And it wasn't an online identity theft. That is somebody that impersonated me and went into the bank. And the worst part was, it was a man, supposedly. I was like, you guys are fucking assholes. Like, add some insult to injury. It was a fucking man that impersonated me, and you let them do this? Like, I've told you guys before, when I worked at the bank, it was my goddamn pleasure to prevent fraud. It was like the daily video game that I played when I went to work. I would literally be like, oh, bitch, come try me. And I was your nightmare as a bank teller if you were trying to commit fraud. Because you have all the power. I would use that power. I was like a 17-year-old fucking power tripper. Like, oh, bitch, no. But I was right most of the time. Most of the time, it was fucking people trying to scam. And all you asked for, I mean, you don't pay tellers that much, but all you ask for is that. They are the front line of defense. They are the ones that should say no. I was so mad. Oh, still so mad. And the worst part was this, okay? At the same time, remember I've told you I worked at the furniture place, the really expensive furniture place? So the really expensive furniture place, most of my job was calling banks to verify the identity of the person. So about 6 times a day, I had to phone the TD Bank fraud department to talk to them. And every time, it was a very deep battle within me not to just lose my shit on them about my personal situation. Ugh. Anyways, that was a great clip. I do think that people that commit crimes, even financial crimes, should be held responsible. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be, but what I'm saying is that even been a victim of somebody like that, and it wasn't smart crimes like that, you know? It was like there are smarter criminals out there that I wish they would pay some more. I didn't really get it straightened out, Vicky. Like they told me my identity is completely compromised. Oh my god, it was so they opened a lot of accounts in my name, which was frustrating. Give me 1 second here as I pull up something else. I want to show you guys something that I found so behind me here, this is from another YouTube channel that I watch called Good Mythical Morning, Rhett and Lane. And that's when I changed my name to Kitchen Court Cases. Actually, that's when I decided to keep my married name, because the name that they sort of stole was my maiden name. So I kept my maiden name, or I kept my married name even after divorce. And no, and although my ex-husband was a dick, and he was, at that time, he was not a nice guy to deal with. He was just a hurt little fella. Let's just put it that way. But he would never do anything like that. He may have relished a little bit in my discomfort, but he wouldn't have orchestrated that. He's just honestly smart to do that. He really isn't. He fell for an identity theft scam where he literally handed them the information before, and I was just like, are you joking me? And I had to stop that one too. But no. So that's not it wasn't him. He was a dick in other ways, but not in that particular way. Kitchen was not always my first name, but it has been a good name for me. So oh yeah, so Good Mythical Mornings, something that I've watched for many, many years. My ex-husband hated, actually, but I was obsessed with. And then they have a mythical society which has a quarterly gift, and I found this one recently. It's their inaugural, I guess. It was a comic book, but it was so funny. Look at the Waiter Toaster 6000. And the comic book is called Blood Oath, Rhett and Link versus the Global Lovemaking Crisis. Oh, Vicky, you know what? My first name has actually been already typed in the chat today. But anyway, so I love Rhett and Link and all their funny, fun things that have been going on, and I just came across this and thought I would share it. So let's go ahead and watch a little bit of Bothell Municipal Courtroom because that court has become like a little gem to me. I also, when I typed in the court, I didn't type it in all the way. Oh, this is the other problem. I have to admit something. I it's just hard. Like if you want to know my kryptonite is making me move, okay? Make me do a huge fucking move with overarching planning and shit like that. That's some kryptonite for me. So I revert back to my standard fall to like feel goods, which is like Jenna Marbles. And so I've been binging some Jenna Marbles videos lately. And I didn't realize that I was on the new Kitchen Court Chats account when I was doing that. So almost all that I've done on this account is binge Jenna Marbles and just a little bit of other stuff. And so I think that'll probably be affecting our algorithm for the next like 3 to 5 years. Just so y'all know, it'll be in just the way things happen. Um, let's see here. Oh yeah, I gotta change to this one. Mikey, you never explained to me what Brunswick stew is, and I'm still interested. See, I'm not even subscribed to this court. I hate you, YouTube Daddy. I was so organized for a little while, and you just ruined my. Oh my goodness. Caitlin, Jesus Christ, that's not a good look, honey. Angles, babe. Is that a CD visor? If anybody still has a CD visor in their minivan, I would like to know now in the chat, even if you're a lurker. It's quite important. CD visor. Remember, I live in where it's 22 degrees or 71 degrees. I'm trying to be American so bad. 21. No, I'm not. I just want to know what you feel when you guys talk about your heat. It's so visceral, and I don't get it.
Mr. De Los Santos, it'll be just one moment, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, humble brag. Check out my moonroof.
Okay, yeah.
Also, you guys, these glasses have no lenses in them, and yet still I feel like if I take them off, I see them. And if anybody's mad at me for having
Miss Tax,
lenses
can you
in
go
these,
to the
I've been
breakout
open
room,
about that
please?
from the beginning. This is just bullshit. Okay, so again, if I prepped, I would do better, but I don't. Here we go.
These proceedings will be made and maintained by the Bothell Municipal Court. Anyone making a recording without having obtained prior approval of the court may be subject to legal action, including but not limited to contempt proceedings. With that, I believe we are ready to proceed this afternoon. Good afternoon.
Oh, that was specifically for me. I acknowledge that specifically. Thank you. Fair use.
Counsel.
Thanks, Your Honor. For the record, Sokolo with the city. I believe Mr. De Los Santos is here. He's not on the calendar today, probably mistakenly not, but he's here to quash his warrants.
And that's correct. I think Madam Clerk did calendar into jobs just so that Your Honor can see it. I think it was just calendared for next month instead of this month. So it was miscalendared, but he did get the notice to appear for today, or that was what he was told. And so he did appear today. It looks like he called presumably same day of court per the docket to request the quash hearing. He just missed court on the 20th. If the court is willing to quash, Madam Clerk suggested we just set this to an in-person hearing as quickly as possible to address the substantive retrial.
All right. Mr. Laura, what is your position?
No objection to quashing the warrant, Your Honor.
Somebody want to put the cause number into the record?
Yeah, this is cause number 3A0340115.
All right. Mr. De Los Santos, if you can unmute your microphone.
Okay. Hi.
Hi. So thank you for being here. I'm sorry we got things a little mixed up on our end.
Quash is such a good word. I like the word quash. Squash, on the other hand, a vegetable I didn't like until later in life. Still iffy, if I'm going to be honest. Hi, Jonathan.
What I'm going to do is go ahead. I am going to quash the warrant, and I'm going to set the matter for August 10th at 2:30 in the afternoon in person at the Bothell Municipal Court.
Okay. I'm gonna write that down.
Okay.
Solid idea.
Okay. Can you? What day is it?
August 10th
Okay.
at 2:30 in the afternoon.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, I got it.
Okay, so we'll see you then.
In person or
in person?
Okay.
In person at the court.
Both. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we'll see you then.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Take care.
Yeah, looks like Ms.
Okay,
Clovis
topic
is
more.
here from the 1:30 calendar.
Yes, that's correct. And she
Thanks, Hector.
she does understand she appeared a little bit late. Your Honor, if the court is willing to quash, this is cause number 3A0430874.
Hold on. First of all, I don't have any tattoos. I don't judge tattoos. I'm okay with people having tattoos if you want, but you got to be willing to own the fuck out of your tattoos, which means I get to critique them. I get to look at them, ask about them. If they're available for me to view and you're wearing it in court, I get to look at it. Hi, Ron. I hope you're well. Okay, so she appears to have a diamond. There's a diamond over her breast here. And then there's something else, it looks like. That may just be a cleavage crevasse, but I don't know. I can't command enough to a tattoo either, Courtney. Oh my God. Do you know how many times I've been like, oh my God, I would totally want that tattoo. And then like 6 days later, I'm like, wow, how fucking stupid would you feel if you had that tattoo? I have a personal theory about tattoos. Listen, guys, there's two things. If you are getting a tattoo and you like the pain and you're like, wow, this is so good, and you like keep getting tattoos because of that, listen, you can get people to hate you without leaving permanent marks that you get that feeling, okay? You just have to admit that, and that we can arrange that part, okay? If on the other hand, you're paying somebody to sit with you for 8 hours and talk to you, you can also have a therapist that you do that with. Or even like a friend that you pay. Or like a cool person that you pay to hang out with. You don't have to get permanent ink to have somebody sit and talk with you for 6 to 8 hours. But I get it. I get it. I mean, I don't have any tattoos, but I get it.
We do have resolutions in these matters.
She was more than a little bit late. What was her explanation for why she wasn't here?
She appeared roughly 2 p.m.
Mr. Laura, what is your position?
Yeah, no objection to quashing the warrants. We do have a resolution on this case.
All right. Based on that representation, I will quash the warrant that was authorized.
And Your Honor, just for the record, this is Ms. Corvus Vanessa, cause number 3A04308774. We do have a resolution on her charges. The city is moving to amend count 1, the driver license by the 3rd degree to that of no valid operator's license in the 2nd degree under RCW 4620.015 for an agreed amount of $200. The city is also moving to amend count 2, failure to transfer title within 45 days to that of no valid registration and vehicle under RCW 4616A180 for an agreed amount of $200 in that case also.
And she would like to agree to both, would agree to the committed findings on both at the penalties of $200 for a total of $400. And is requesting either to set up a payment plan with the court or to do community service. It sounds like with work being kind of sporadic, she may be able to complete that community service in lieu of the financial costs.
All right. Ms. Cuevas, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Were you paying attention to what the attorneys indicated you're requesting?
Ma'am.
Is that how you would like to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any threats or promises to get you to resolve your case this way? For some reason, your sound didn't come through on that.
No,
Okay. Then I will accept the city's motion to amend count 1 from the charge of driving while license suspended 3rd degree to the infraction of no valid operator's license 2nd degree. I will accept your stipulation as to committed to count 1 and impose the agreed upon penalty of $200. And count 2, the amendment to the infraction of no registration in vehicle. I will accept your stipulation to committed on that infraction as well. Again, with the agreed upon penalty of $200 for a total of $400 under this cause number. I will allow that you can make payments towards that, do community service hours or a combination thereof. It looks like we had something similar happen on another cause number 2A0074107, where driving while license suspended charge was amended to no valid operator's license, and that has since gone to collections. So I will one time pull that back from collections, be combined so that you can do the payments or community service hours towards a total amount. I'll allow all of them can be combined together. There was an infraction issued at the same time for no failure to renew the registration and a headlight violation. Was there any request to reduce those amounts?
No, yeah, there was no request to reduce the amounts.
All right. Ms. Pimentel?
Ms. Cuevas, you heard the judge is asking you were cited with an infraction. It was pretty expensive. So she's asking whether or not you would like her to reduce those amounts. I can tell you, Your Honor, that she has a significant amount of financial responsibilities, a lot of tickets. I know she's been looking into trying to see how she can kind of get all of that stuff figured out. She's not able to locate the individual who originally sold her the vehicle. And so she has been in contact with Department of Licensing as well to see what her options are as far as the title is concerned. But I think any reduction she would appreciate.
Please.
All right. I will reduce the infraction under cause number 3A0430875. I will reduce that down to, it's right now at $382. I will reduce that down, and I'm just trying to break it up for the sake of my clerk. So count 1, the failure to renew expired registration, I will reduce that to $100, and the headlight violation also down to $100. So it'll be a total of $200. So that's going to mean $800 total that you owe the court. But again, you can do community service hours towards that, but you need to do them, or else you go to collections and it becomes super expensive, as you become aware.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm not sure. Oh dear. Okay. Sorry, I hit the wrong button on my computer. I'm I'm not sure because I see that some of your cases are out of,
Tell me a fucking about it, Judge. Oh my God. When you hit the wrong button on the computer and you're live, oh, nightmare. Oh my God. Seriously, I'm laughing right now. It's super hot. I'm fanning myself. Ugh. Ugh. Also, William, you thought I was looking a little rough today? You think that's how I look when I'm a little rough? This is how I look when I'm a little rough. There's no blush, no concealer, just some eyeliner. That's all I got today, baby. That's all I could find. I couldn't even find any lipstick. I need new lipstick. And like, oh, this fan is the only thing keeping me going. But yeah, if I add the glasses, I'm doing naughty teacher. And there we go. Also, the number 40 behind him looks like he's on a scale, doesn't it? At first glance, we look similar, hey? But you mean like younger, hotter cousin versus like aunt, right? Come on, dude.
Snohomish County, and I know that Judge Raincourt up in Cascade is doing a program to help you reduce the amounts that you owe, but only if it's the ticket that's holding up your license, is what I understand. So I don't know if that's the case, but it's at least worth looking into up there because that's a really expensive ticket up in Cascade. And I don't know with regard to Marysville if they're also collaborating, but I would start with Judge Raincourt because you have some stuff that you owe to Everett District Court. And again, if it's anything within the Snohomish County District Court program, if it's holding up your ticket, she has a program you can work with. If not, your ticket, holding up your license.
But
So-
just go into is that that's in North Everett and the
Cascade is the one up in Arlington.
Arlington.
It's that courthouse, but I think you can probably call them. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's something maybe to talk with. I don't know if you have an attorney to help you with any of this, but if nothing else, you can certainly call the court to find out about the program. Okay?
Will do. Thank you.
All right. Well, good luck with that. And again, I've combined them all so you can do one payment and do community service hours. It might be something where you want to do like even $5 a month, but then add community service hours so that you start really working it down. But that's up to you. You can work that out. Okay.
I can do community services like starting tomorrow.
Yeah, as long, but you need to call the court to get it set up so that my staff know exactly what's going on. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thanks. You too. Take care.
I think Mr. Stewart has 2 matters that are ready, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Stewart, you're muted.
Point out that Mr. Laura is going to point out that I messed up the document on this one, but it's a typing error, not a error beyond that. This is a defense request for a continuance on Daniel Comer. Mr. Comer is having some difficulty accessing the video. Essentially, Your Honor, it's a continuance to an in-person hearing for a likely disposition. I set it a ways out because he's got a couple things he needs to do for us that will put us in a mode. There we go. Put us in a mode for negotiation purposes. But either way, I anticipate a disposition on 9/28.
All right. Mr. Laura, what is the city's position?
Yeah, no objection to continue in this case.
All right. I'm just going to take a quick look here. Good afternoon, Mr. Comer.
Will Ferrell fell on very hard times.
All right. I have a document before me called a waiver of time for trial and order setting court dates under your cause number 3A03888783. Sorry, that's legal talk. But with your name on it. Looks like you gave Mr. Stewart permission to electronically sign this document on your behalf. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand that by this document, you're asking me to continue your court date today, and that to do that, you've indicated you're willing to waive your right to time for trial 90 days past your next court hearing, all the way out to December 27th of this year. Is that all correct?
Yes.
All right. Has anyone made any threats or promises to get you to waive your right to time for trial?
No.
And I'm just making sure, yep, okay. Then I will accept the waiver of time for trial. I will grant your request for a continuance. We'll set this matter as requested to September 28th. And that's at 1:30 in the afternoon. That's going to be in person at the Bothell Municipal Court, okay?
Okay. September 28th at 1:30. Okay. Thanks, Your Honor.
Yep, and we'll see you then. And your trial date will be in the November trial term, but again, your next court date, September 28th at 1:30 at the Bothell Municipal Court.
Okay.
All right, and we will note that that is for possible disposition, but on that date, we'll find out what's happening, okay?
Okay, cool.
I give his hairpiece a T for too far back and possibly turned around. I think it's backwards. I think that's the crown. Oh my God.
Thank you. Your Honor.
Here.
All right. Oh, how do we do this? How do we leave?
Go ahead, hit the button, yep.
Hit the button.
All right.
Yeah, and I have
Hi,
Jessica Jax
Georgia.
on the screen. This is a defense motion for continuance in the exact same mode as the last one. City's committed an offer. I anticipate a likely disposition. She needs, my notes actually from Ms. Pimentel says, Ms. Tax is doing very, very well. So apparently she's impressed Ms. Pimentel with the things she's accomplished so far. We anticipate a disposition on 9/28, one way or the other. She's got a couple more things she needs to do for me.
Who's this? Who's entered the chat? Missy Tax? Oh God. Please tell me she's missing some sort of tax form.
All right. Ms. Tax, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
I have a document before me entitled A Waiver of Time for Trial and Order Setting Court Dates under your cause for 0372842. Looks like you gave Mr. Stewart permission to electronically sign this document on your behalf. Is that correct?
Yes.
You understand that by this document, you're asking me to continue your court date today, and that to do that, you've indicated you are willing to waive your right to time for trial 90 days past that next court date, all the way out to December 27th of this year. Is that correct?
Yes.
What are you eat, sissy? Well, the kids are not approving anything past Christmas. They just heard that. They said, "No way, Mom! That sounds like past the date that Santa's coming. What the fuck is going on here?" Oh God, I love court so much. Sometimes I just don't get it. Sometimes I do. She looks like a 12-year-old who's using Mom's phone. Remember that person we heard the other day who was like literally a child? A child on the phone.
And just, has anyone made any threats or promises to get you to waive your right to time for trial?
No.
Mr. Lord, does the city have any objection to this continuance?
Honestly, Your Honor, we just really want to get the intervention about his hairpiece dealt with as soon as possible. It's getting to be embarrassing now.
I have no objection to continuing this case to a disposition calendar.
All right. Ms. Tax, I will accept your waiver of time for trial and grant your request for a continuance. We'll set this matter as requested to September 28th at 1:30. That is potentially for disposition. If needed, though, your trial date will be in the November trial term. But again, September 28th at 1:30 in person at the Bothell Municipal Court for potential disposition. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Take care.
You too.
And good job.
Thank you.
I need a timestamp of every time somebody says good job because I need positive reinforcement. So if Jonathan's still here, if you could timestamp me that so that I can put it in my personal repertoire, play it during the day sometimes when I need to get out of bed. Good job. Good job.
All right.
Yeah,
Next,
Your Honor, Mr. Schlesinger's case is also ready, which is the Mayor Kutu case, Marian, cause number 3A03100079.
good afternoon, Mr. Schlesinger.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Greg Schlesinger appearing on behalf of Mr. Marakutu. The parties have reached a resolution in this matter, and talking to Madam Clerk, it looks like the next plea date would be August 22nd at 1:30. So we do have a form there, and I did also file a waiver of presence for you, Your Honor.
I did see that. Thank you very much for getting that taken care of. I just need to find the right continuance form, so give me just a second. Nope.
And Your Honor, there's one thing that I need to mention on the form. Mr. Schlesinger put down the commencement date, I believe as not the same date as the next pretrial date, but if both parties agree, the city doesn't object to it.
All right. Well, I think we need to take a look at the form a little more carefully unless you want to do a continuance to today. At least that's the one I have.
Oh, I see that too. Sorry, Your Honor. The pretrial is on 7/20 to 7/31. You want me to do that, Mr. Schlesinger? You're on mute.
I know Mr. Schlesinger, you're muted, so we can't hear you.
It's all good, Melanie. No worries.
That's crazy. I'm pretty sure I put every right date.
That's crazy. That's a weird thing to say. Hold on. Is he just replying to that as because he's muted? That's crazy. That's weird, dude. I'm in the middle of fucking looking something up and you're gonna say something like that when I'm not paying attention? What the fuck? Now I have to go back? Jesus Christ. Hi, she's a maker.
You're on mute.
I know Mr. Schlesinger, you're muted, so we can't hear you.
That's crazy. I'm pretty sure I put every right date on there, but what I'll do is I'll redo the form and we can table this until I get that done. Is that good, Your Honor?
That would be fine. I apologize. We are moving towards O Court, which I know may not be perfect, but I understand is substantially better than this process. So hopefully that will be soon. In the meantime, I understand. Let's go ahead and redo that.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. Next matter.
I'm ready on Mr. Herzog's matter, cause number 6118. This is listed on the calendar as a review matter. However, it was placed on this calendar, A, because Mr. Herzog is currently living in Montana and thus unable to appear in person, and B, because this is a deferred prosecution from 1999. Mr. Herzog just recently quashed a warrant. I have been in contact with.
She did not say that. Okay. Somebody who makes videos and posts them and is able to edit them enough. This is a really good video. And see, I would just start it here and end it at the end, and they would be like, you didn't change anything, Kitchen. Even though I fucking listened to the whole thing. But seriously, 1999, he's quashing a warrant from 1999. That's a good case. Somebody get on that.
Understand. Let's go ahead and redo that.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. Next matter.
I'm ready on Mr. Herzog's matter, cause number 6118. This is listed on the calendar as a review matter. However, it was placed on this calendar, A, because Mr. Herzog is currently living in Montana and thus unable to appear in person, and B, because this is a deferred prosecution from 1999. Mr. Herzog just recently quashed a warrant. I have been in contact with Ms. Greenwood, with Mr. Lohr about this case, as well as Mr. Herzog. And I have spoken with his probation officer in Montana. Defense is prepared to admit to violations for purposes of revocation of the deferred prosecution. We did file with the court a certificate in relation to treatment completion, as well as just some follow-up from his probation officer, which gives a little bit more of an idea of what is going on. He's essentially on probation there, and I believe until the end of next year. What Mr. Lohr and I discussed was potentially setting over sentencing so that we could get the court a little bit more information in regards to the treatment. It is a sort of state certified program that he did through the state. That was something that they required as part of the conviction. And so I have reached out to his probation officer again. Unfortunately, he's not in today, but I think I can have all that information for the court by the date that we had discussed, which was August 21st.
All right. Mr. Lohr.
Yeah, and that is all correct. It's agreed to have Mr. Herzog admit to the violation out of state and set up sentencing until we get the treatment information for our case.
So this is a deferred prosecution. Mr. Herzog has stipulated to a violation. The city is moving to revoke the deferred prosecution. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. The city is moving to revoke.
And I apologize, I don't recall, but I believe the out-of-state violation was another driving under the influence charge, which would be an automatic revocation as well. So based on all of that, Mr. Herzog, I am going to revoke your deferred prosecution in the state of Washington. I am going to follow the request and set this matter over for sentencing. I'm sorry, Ms. Pimentel, you said August 31st?
Because we need to do a Zoom appearance, August 21st. It looked like it wasn't as busy. And that'll give us a little time. I'm out of the office the week of the 14th, but I'll be back on the 21st.
All right, I will not be here on the 21st, but I don't know that I have any specific knowledge of this case that would require that it needs to be me. Unless the parties want that, I just wanted to make sure you were aware.
No, that's fine, Your Honor. I think what the hope is that this will be an agreed sentencing recommendation per the mandatory minimums, and that we can get out the court all of that information so that we're all prepared to move forward at the hearing.
All right, very good. I will then go ahead and grant the request and set this to August 21st at 1:30 for Zoom calendar for sentencing. Did you say 1:30 or 2:30, Ms. Pimentel? I'm sorry.
I think I had selected 2:30 on there, but I may have.
I apologize.
I believe I did select 2:30 since 1:30 had a little bit more traffic on it.
So I'm going to go ahead and indicate this is a review matter, so there's no waiver necessary. And we'll simply set this matter for sentencing on August 21st at 2:30 in the afternoon. The court, having revoked the deferred prosecution, entered a finding of guilty at this time. So we'll set it to August 21st at 2:30. Okay.
Mr. Herzog will be in touch. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
And just so that Your Honor is aware, after Mr. Herzog completed that program, he has now been sober for about 4 years, he indicated.
It'll be 4 years when it's over.
That's fantastic. Good job.
That is fantastic.
Right.
Let's
Well,
have an
thank you, and
F
I
in the
apologize that I
chat.
won't be the one there for your sentence.
We'll have an F in the chat. Well, F in the chat. F in the chat for getting fucked up. There we go. F in the chat for getting fucked up. I think that's good. That's warranted. If you don't want to get fucked up, let's put an F in the chat. Even if you do want to get fucked up, he hasn't for 4 years. Good for him. F for sobriety. There we go. Cellulite yoga pants. I don't know how to say it properly, so maybe I will do like that. We're gonna move on to some bond court because honestly, I'm leaning back on my go-tos, the things that make me feel good, and the things that I know we enjoy doing together. So give me one moment. We'll finish this play out. We'll let her give him some kudos. Hopefully she continues on. I'm a huge fan of sobriety for people. Whatever they deem sobriety to be, that is what sobriety is to you. And I don't ever want anybody to feel bad about their level of sobriety comparatively to somebody else's. Just because you might smoke weed or take pills or do whatever but you consider yourself in check, that's good enough for me. And you can come here and get a fucking howdy doody, I guess is what I'm saying. Let's continue. So I'll let that play out. We're gonna watch a Judge Nagel dismissal Dan. Sorry, I was like, what's his name? I don't know. The mayor has 30 years. That is awesome. Awesome, awesome. And you guys know, I grew up in a family that has Al-Anon and AA as a big structure point in the fabric, let's say. And so I'm well aware of the people working the steps and how hard that is and how much support you need. I'm not quite as strict as certain programs where I don't think, like, I believe that people can smoke some weed. Certain people can smoke some weed. Certain people can do certain amounts of things and still lead a very healthy and fulfilling life. So, but if you want or require to live a life of sobriety in a different way, then I support you in that too. That's the whole point, is that I'm supportive, I think, of everybody all the way around. I'm even supportive of getting drunk once in a while.
But I'm sure that whomever I have something in for me will do a good job.
I'm sure God's on my side.
Very, very good. Glad to hear it. Take care.
Also ready on Mr. Hunt's matter, the pretrial 3A0426270.
God's on his side. That's pretty good for him. I believe I have, like, YouTube people on my side, and that's what's getting me through. Give me 1 second to pull up the next set of hearings that we've got. Right there. Oh my God, it's right there. YouTube Daddy, I say a lot about you, but sometimes you do know me. Sometimes you do. I'm just gonna say it. You know what I needed to. Oh, look at the bunch we've got, you guys. Oh, we're in for a treat. We're in for a treat. We're in for a treat. Thought isn't on my side either. I literally thought recently, I was like, maybe Judge Brandt's praying about me. Like, they're like worried about me. That's just sort of narcissistic. Hi, Crystal. So yeah, hit the like button, guys, if you can. Also, please subscribe. I'm almost at 160.
We ready at the jail, y'all? You're on mute.
I'm gonna have to nominate "You're on mute" as the phrase of the fucking decade. Just "You're on mute." Like, that is, I've heard it said so many fucking times. Come on, there's got to be one of you out there that has an extra account that could get me to 160.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
Hey, how you doing? It's Deputy Tyson. I'm checking to see if you want your sign language to go first.
They were not available today. Ms. Baskin sent an email saying that they were not able to be today, but they are going to be there and confirmed for tomorrow morning.
Okay, and what about the interpreter?
That I don't know. Ms. Baskin, do you know if Ms. Bermudez or Ms. Tolles was available?
And I have rest of the party ready to go.
Okay.
We also need a Spanish interpreter. I just saw the sign language interpreter.
Yeah, they emailed
Okay, no problem. I'll put one on. She'll probably join a little later, but I'll reach out to her now.
Okay, that's fine. That's on the male side. We've got some females and an extra addition on the female side, so it'll be a few moments, so she's got time. All right. Well, let's begin. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The time is 11:04. This is Clayton County Magistrate Court first appearance. I am Judge Daniel Nagel. Today's appearance is an informative hearing and not an evidentiary hearing. So what that means is this is not an opportunity for you to present evidence, talk to me about the facts of your case, why you feel like you should not have been charged, or what your defenses are. Please do not talk about what your defenses are or what your strategy moving forward is. This is being live streamed and it's being recorded. So anything that you say could potentially be used against you. Just answer the questions that are asked to you and we will get through everyone as quickly as possible. All right. Some of the information that I'm going to give you, I'm going to let you know the charges that are pending against you and whether they are a misdemeanor or a felony. I'm going to let you know if there is a bond amount set and what that bond is. I'm also going to let you know if there are any special conditions of your bond. The most common type of special conditions are a stay away provision from a person. If you're told to stay away from a certain person, that person does not exist in your world, or guess what? You end up back in jail and you face the possibility of more criminal charges against you. And guess what a judge is unlikely to do if you violate their order? Give you bond on new charges. So you run the risk of being arrested again and not being able to bond out. So if you're told to stay away from someone, that means not talking to them in person, on telephone, through the internet, Skype, Twitter, Kick, Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever creative way that you think that you can communicate with this person, even using third party, like, hey, tell so-and-so I said X, Y, and Z. Don't do that because you run the risk of getting locked up and facing more charges, okay?
Oh my gosh. Elvis, did you just say you have a master's degree? Oh, what a humble brag from that case earlier. Oh, I live in a university town. Everybody here has a master's degree. They all work at Starbucks.
Another type of special condition is they stay away from a certain location. Guess what? Same thing. You can go anywhere in the world except there. So if you are told to stay away from a certain location, do not go there. Now, sometimes you are told to stay away from a location that is a residence. It may be your residence. If you need to get your belongings from that location, then we can talk about how to do that legally. Okay, but it won't be, even if I say that you can go back and get your belongings, it won't be that you can just go there and get it. You will need to make contact with the Clayton County Sheriff's Department and have them go with you to get any belongings that you need to get from that residence. This is to make sure that nothing happens to you or anyone else at that residence or the community at large, because obviously something happened at that residence where it's not safe for people to go right now. Okay. You can have somebody else go and get your belongings. That's fine and probably the best way to handle it, but you can't go there unless you take the sheriff with you. Okay. I'm also going to let you know your next court date. Please pay attention. If you are charged with misdemeanors, your next court date is going to be August the 22nd. If you are charged with either felonies or a mixture of felonies and misdemeanors, your next court date is going to be on August the 23rd. So all misdemeanors, the 22nd, either all felonies or a mixture of misdemeanors and felonies, August the 23rd. If you bond out before that court date, you do not have to appear for your first appearance, okay? That doesn't mean that you never have to report for court. It just means you don't appear for that particular court date, okay? If you bond out, your case will automatically be sent to the solicitor's office if it's misdemeanors, or if you have any felonies, it will go to the district attorney's office. Make sure that your contact information and your address is correct with the clerk's office, because they will send you notice of when you will need to appear. Okay, but it will not be for a first appearance calendar. All right. Lastly, you should have had an opportunity to fill out an application for a court-appointed attorney. Your options for an attorney are either you can be considered for a court-appointed attorney, in which I'll review your application to see if you qualify. If you didn't fill it out, then I can only assume that you do not want a court-appointed attorney, and you either A, want to hire your own attorney, or B, you want to represent yourself. I do not recommend that you represent yourself because you probably have not been to law school and studied the law and know the rules of evidence and criminal procedure and things of that nature. So your best options are to either A, see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney, or B, have someone in mind that you would like to hire. If you're going to hire your own attorney or someone's going to hire an attorney for you.
So Sheena, I want you to know that I will adore it regardless of the quality because of the time that you're taking to make it. I will worship whatever y'all send me. If you make compilations of me, if you do all that shit, please know that, okay? Also, you all know that I failed high school. I graduated on a fucking technicality later on because of something that happened, but that I failed school. I recently just literally in my arms have found my diary from like middle school or high school, which is hilarious. I'm just reading about a breakup that I have. I wrote about it so hilariously. And then but Sashina, whatever you send me, I will value greatly. Here's the thing, I have to say this, you guys. I appreciate everybody who can go to school and who gets their degrees and who is able to follow that path. I really do. I value you, like I envy you in a little bit of a way. However, I do have to say this. I seem to have gotten pretty good jobs over the years without any degree because you get in front of somebody, if you put me in a job, okay, that I'm interested in, and you put a problem in front of me, I'm gonna solve your problem, okay? And you might be like, what the fuck? How did that even possibly be a solution? But it'll be a solution. And I am crafty as fuck, and I really don't care what anybody thinks. And so while everybody's going to school learning same things, I think a little bit differently than other people. It gets you some places, especially in small businesses. When you go in front of a boss and you explain, hey, I can save you XYZ because of this way, they're like, whoa, let's talk. Yeah, you've got the job. Like, I've gotten so many jobs like, I've been like, I can save you a lot of money. Watch how I do this. And I don't ever get rid of any jobs. You have to understand that. I'm a fucking ethical, I've written it on a resume before. There's a word for it. Regardless, let's keep watching this. But I don't owe any money to any fucking university, and I live in a university town. I've worked for the government at quite a high level, and you know what they had to do? They had to outsource the job that they needed me to do to a temp because within the government, the bureaucracy precluded the task from being completed. Literally, what I did was so impossible to accomplish in-house because they have so many red tape and things that you have to go through that they had to outsource it. And that's how I began working for the government. I was a temp where they said, hey, watch this court hearing and take notes because somebody within the government wouldn't be allowed to write what they fucking thought like I did. I was basically making my own conclusions and they utilized them every single day for like 8 months. And then we're like, oh. Regardless, let's just keep going.
That's fine. Just let me know if you do know who that is going to be and make sure you let them know that they need to file the paperwork as quickly as possible. Once I go over all that information with you, you will have an opportunity to ask me any question that you like. Now, your question should be limited to the things that I go over with you. Don't ask me how much time you're looking at. Don't ask me, if the prosecutor is going to negotiate with you. Don't ask me anything about the facts and circumstances of your case. And again, don't talk to me about what your defenses are. Save that for your defense attorney. I repeat this a lot because invariably, every single time somebody gets up there and wants to talk to me about the facts of their case, Don't be that person, because I'm going to cut you off and the deputies are not going to let you ask anything else. Okay. So we have a zero tolerance policy for.
I need a double, please. Harmony, please double me right now.
Talking to me about the facts of your case. Just don't do it. It's the opposite of Nike. Okay. You can ask me what your bond are, what your bond is, if you have any special conditions, what your charges are, and when your next court date is going to be. And you can ask me questions about whether you are approved for a court-appointed attorney. Now, I'm going to give you some information that people typically ask me, so I can go ahead and get it out of the way. I do not know the requirements of bonding companies and what they want from you or family members or friends as far as bonding you out. Okay. I can tell you, as a lawyer practicing in this area for over 10 years, typically a bonding company is somewhere between 10 and 20% of your total bond. So if your total bond is $5,000, a bonding company is going to charge somewhere between 10 and 20% of $5,000. 10% is $500, 20% is $1,000. I made it easy because I'm an attorney and I don't do math. All right. But that is not a law. And
Let's just literally start keeping track. That's probably the fifth, right? The fifth lawyer, not mathematician joke. I want a channel counter. See, these are the goals I have in my life. And therapists often are like, well, wow, that's really not important. And I say, yeah, it is. It's in fact critical to my life going forward, that I know exactly how many times I personally have heard a lawyer make the joke about not being a mathematician. Like, I'll keep track of that better than my taxes, is what I'm going to say to you right now. That's the truth.
And that is not set in stone. Okay. I'm just giving you general idea of what you can expect. Okay. Also, keep in mind, we have about 30 something people here. So don't ask me if you're going to get released in 10 minutes or an hour or whatever. We'll get through everyone as quickly as possible. Trust me, we want everyone to be moved as efficiently and quickly as possible. So because there's a lot of other business that needs to be taken care of at the jail and through the courts. Okay. Also, please do not ask me about an OR bond or a recognizance bond or a signature bond, because most likely, if you know what that means, you probably wouldn't qualify. And if you don't know what that means, that's a good thing. But I've went through everyone's charges, everyone's criminal histories, all the facts and circumstances of their case. Okay. So if you don't have an OR or signature bond, please do not ask me for one, because you are just wasting your time and you're wasting everyone else's time. Okay. Again, you will have an opportunity to ask questions at the very end, but keep those questions limited to the information that we went over. Now, before we begin with the individuals, I need everyone to please raise their right hand.
You at home too, please, please raise your right hand.
I just need you to swear or affirm that the statements that you make shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And you can say, I do.
I do.
All right. We're going to start with the female side first. And then once we're done with that, we'll go to the person who needs a Spanish interpreter, because I see Ms. Tolles here. All right. Ms. Tolles, if you'll give us just a few minutes and let us work through the female side, we'll get to your person as quickly as possible.
Yes, sure. That's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I forgot to mention, when you come up, just make sure that you speak loudly and clearly so that I can understand you. Some of you may have face coverings and there might be a little bit of a delay.
Hey, finally, whoever is complaining about face coverings can complain, because it's today. This is today. This hearing was today. I just didn't even have the energy to go back. So I just clicked on today when I saw Judge Darren come up today. So it does seem a little crazy to me. They've really adopted this into their jail outfit, but nobody wears them properly, so it doesn't matter. It's such a weird thing. Although I personally like wearing a mask because I have a very expressive face and people constantly get pissed off at me when I use my expressive face to express how stupid they are, and they pick up on that. So I tend to just wear a mask for my own personal gain.
So just wait for me to speak and finish, and then you can talk, okay? Ma'am, can I get your first and last name, please?
Deanna Burns.
I'm on a birch.
That's it.
All right, Miss Burns. You are charged with one count of battery. That is a misdemeanor.
Don't stop nothing if they don't wear it.
I am gonna
Cellulite,
set
and
a
I'm
bond
all about
on the
wearing them,
case,
but
and the
still.
bond is going to be, let me see here. The bond is going to be $3,000, okay? You do have special conditions of your bond to not have any contact with Takia Andrade McKinnon. So do not have any contact with that person. Also, do not go back to 10706 Buckingham Circle in Hampton. Now, that appears to be a residence. Do you need to get any belongings from that residence? Oh, it's on mute.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it. So remember what I just said. You can either A, have somebody get those belongings for you, or B, I'm putting in your bond conditions that you can make contact with the sheriff's office and they'll go with you to get your stuff from that residence until your either case is resolved or through an attorney or through yourself, you can file a motion to go back into that residence. But until that's done, don't go back there by yourself and say that the judge said that you could, okay? Now, your next court date is going to be on August the 22nd, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I get a court
Okay.
The game. Okay, so the game is, and we've already figured out for her, but 1, if they want a lawyer, 22, if they're going to hire their own lawyer, 333, if they don't understand the assignment, 4444, if you think Judge Dismissal Dan is going to dismiss these charges, a 5150, which is a mental health hold. We're not making fun of anybody. It's just truly an option. And then 6666666 for Sovsidiate. One day I will get them up there, but you can figure it out 1 through 6. Pick your pick. You can pick as many times as you want. Put it in the chat. She's already done it, but let's go for the next one, okay?
Okay, I will grant that request for you. Do you have any questions about your case? No? Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
Yes.
All right. Do we have Akani, aka NNI?
The fugitive, what do you have? Up to the side. Up to the side.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Let me do the fugitive.
Yes, right. Okay.
All right, ma'am. How do you what can you tell me your first and last name, please?
Akani.
Say it loud.
Okay. I got you, Miss Akani. Thank you very much. All right, ma'am. Your procedure is a little bit different. I'm going to read a script, so I need you to just pay attention for me, okay? I'll ask if you have any questions when I'm done. All right. Ms. Akani, a fugitive warrant has been issued for your arrest. You do not have charges pending against you here in Clayton County. However, you have been brought to court today because you have charges pending against you looking out of Alabama, okay? And that state is requesting that you are returned to them to answer the charges of, it looks like, illegal substances or drugs. All right. In accordance with the laws of the state of Georgia, you are brought before me for an explanation of this proceeding. You have the right to contest the legality of this warrant and all extradition proceedings, or you may waive your right to extradition proceedings and voluntarily be returned to the state of Alabama that's requesting your detention. Before you tell me whether or not you want to.
So just for anybody that maybe new or actually who's old, what you'll remember, these are considered ICPC agreements or interstate compact agreements. Almost all United States have agreed to these standards between states in order to extradite criminals, in order to deal with runaway cases. That's the other place where we'll hear this a lot. And also where they talk about dealing with child custody. So ICPC agreements are pretty standard in family law, and you'll find that they are what drags things down a lot. There's a lot of process involved in getting approval for an ICPC compact or something like that when you're maybe moving a child from state to state. Basically, the reality is that states don't want to take responsibility for expensive charges of the state. So there's situations in place where they don't have to exchange it, basically. So, but there are also in place things where they quickly extradite people to the county where they've been charged with a crime in order to face those crimes instead of dealing with a long extradition process. So this would be falling under that option, but the person gets to pick if they go with the ICPC agreement or if they challenge the extradition, basically.
To waive extradition or not, let me explain to you the following rights. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. If you want to contest the legality of this extradition proceedings, then you must file or have filed on your behalf a writ of habeas corpus. You will be allowed a reasonable amount of time to file such writ, okay? You may file a writ of habeas corpus to contest the extradition. The writ of habeas corpus can only contest the following things. So if you want to challenge the state of Alabama's request to send you over, these are the things that you can challenge. Whether extradition documents are in order on their face, whether you are charged with a crime in the state of Alabama, whether you're the actual person named in the request for extradition, and whether you are in fact a fugitive. You cannot contest the issue of whether you are guilty or not guilty in this state. You are entitled to the advice of counsel in deciding whether to contest or waive extradition if you so desire. Now, here's a very important part, so pay attention. If you waive extradition, the state of Alabama will have 30 days to come and get you. If Alabama has not picked you up in 30 days, you will be released, okay? If you contest extradition and the state of Alabama is unable to extradite you within 30 days, you may be committed to the county for an additional 60 days awaiting your extradition. So if you waive, they have 30 days to come and get you. And if they don't, you're free to go. If you contest, then they have 30 days to come and get you. But if they don't, you may have to be there for an additional 60 days. I'm not saying you will, I'm not saying you won't, okay? Now, do you wish to waive extradition and be returned to Alabama, or do you wish to contest and have formal extradition proceedings?
I want to be returned.
Speak up for me.
I do want to be returned to.
Okay. So it sounds to me like you are wishing to waive extradition. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, got it. Okay. And are you?
Hector, that's really sweet. Was that who said that? Whose parents? Oh, Melanie. Melanie, your parents have been together since they were 10 and now 68. That's really sweet. When I was growing up, my boyfriend in high school, his parents had been together since they were like 12 and 13 and were still together. And it was really sweet and a great influence on me from like 14 to 18 when I was like, wow, oh, wow. People, this is what love is. This is a loving family. My goodness. Jesus Christ. Look at these people. And even still, I actually sent an email to his mom and thanked her because of how kind they were to me as a child and a youth and helping me get through my life, because honestly, I think I would have gone a very different path if I didn't have such a lovely place to land. And there's sometimes when true love and caring is very, very nice. And yeah, they taught me a lot of things. He was a vice president of the bank, and we used to have a lot of dinner parties and sit there, and I learned a lot about business, and I learned a lot about people, and I learned a lot about life in that household, and I'm very thankful. And we went to Hawaii a couple times. I love that. It was a good time. Probably in this diary. I have this diary, which I love, by the way. It says good days and then bad days. It's half and half. But I haven't looked all the way through it, but we'll look later.
Are you making that decision freely and voluntarily? Okay, so there's going to be some paperwork. Do y'all have the extradition waiver paperwork for her?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Miss Akani, you're going to sign that paperwork, and then once it's signed, I will sign it and send it back, and then the state of Alabama will have 30 days to come and get you. Now, I don't know if that 30 days start right now or when you were taken into custody or when it's processed. I don't know, okay? But I don't think you've been there very long, so assume the worst and hope for the best, okay? Now, do you have any questions? Oh, and I'm not going to grant a bond on these charges. It doesn't make any sense to do that. But the point is that you're going to waive, and they'll have 30 days to come and get you, and then you'll be released if they don't. Now, do you have any questions?
Yes, I was told there was a 72-hour time for them to come pick me up.
No, that is not correct. They have a total of 30 days. Now, they may come and get you. That may be their policy to come and get you within 72 hours, but that's not what the law requires. Okay. Any other questions?
That's it.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you. They'll get you the paperwork to fill out. Okay. And then I'm going to appoint an attorney for you if for whatever reason.
Thank you.
Next.
All right.
Tell your name out loud. Speak loud, please.
Next person. All right. What's your name?
Carter Marion.
Okay. Miss Carter.
My face is hurting from smiling so much. It's so funny. It's like the first 160 again. It was very important, and it's still very important. But I really appreciate all of you. Sorry.
All right, Miss Carter. All right, Ms. Carter, you are charged with one count of simple battery. That is a misdemeanor. The bond is $2,000. One count of battery, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is $3,000. And then one count of aggravated assault, which is a felony. The bond is $5,000. So your total bond is $10,000. Okay. Now you do have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with is this Terry Morrison. Okay. So do not have any contact with that person. Also, do not go back to the 190 Scarsdale Drive address. Now that appears to be your residence. Do you need to get your belongings from there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got you. I'm going to put in here that you're allowed to go and get your belongings, but you have to go with the sheriff's department to do it. Okay. It's now you can either go with the sheriff's or you can have somebody get the belongings that you need. Once your case is resolved, or these conditions are changed, then you can access that residence one more time. If you want. Now you do have the right to.
Okay, it's like inputting my brain into the fucking chat. I'm not doing that on purpose. No, you guys are all very important to me. I love you very much. Try not to cry. I mean it. It's like another opportunity to do it all right and acknowledge everybody even more so, especially at the beginning, because the foundation of a channel and the foundation of me as a creator is very integral and unforgettable, to be honest. So I appreciate it very deeply. And yeah, just the opportunity to be part of this. So I am gonna stop crying, keep watching, and keep going. Fan faster. Take a dab. Let's go.
Oh, I'm sorry, your next court date is on August the 23rd, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that particular court date, okay? Now, you have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court-appointed attorney.
Okay, I'm gonna grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
You said I could get someone to bring my belongings, get my belongings, right?
Yeah, if you have a friend or a family member that's not gonna cause any trouble and they can go and get your stuff, then go and get your stuff. Now, don't have them cause any trouble because that's gonna get them in trouble.
Yes,
Yeah, if you need to get your stuff, and you can have somebody else do it, just don't go there by yourself, okay? Take the sheriff's department or get someone else. All right?
Okay.
Got a question?
All right, good luck to you.
Good
All right,
morning,
what's your name, ma'am?
Bridget Gadsden.
All right, Miss Gadsden. Just a second here. All right, Miss Gadsden, you are charged with one count of simple battery. The bond is going to be $2,000, which is a misdemeanor. You are to not have any contact with Mr. Darius Stevenson. It's my understanding that he was also taken into custody on this. Do you all live at that residence together, or whose residence is that?
It's my residence.
Okay, give me just a second. I'm gonna see what address he used. Okay, I see that he used a different address. So luckily for you, I was able to verify it because I initially said that you couldn't go back there, but I'm gonna take that condition off because it does appear that that is your address and he has a different one. Now I'm gonna tell him not to go into to your address, okay? Your next court date is going to be on August the 22nd. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I want appointed.
Okay, give me just a second. Okay, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case? All right, good luck to you.
And I thought my hair looked bad today.
Let's call loud for me, please.
All right, what's your name?
Jasmine Harris.
Okay. Let's see. I have a Jasmine Harris. Is that you?
Yes.
Okay, got it. All right, Ms. Harris. Looks like you were charged with one misdemeanor count of no insurance, one misdemeanor count of expired tag, and one misdemeanor count of driving either without a license or on a suspended license. Your total bond is $1,000 for the insurance, $500 for the tag, and $1,500 for the license charge. So your total bond is $3,000. Are you going to be able to make that?
Yes.
So it's somewhere between $300 and $600, let's say. Are you going to be able to make that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, your next court date is going to be on August the 22nd. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Be considered for appointed.
Okay, I will do that. These are relatively minor charges. The biggest one is the no driver's license. So if you keep getting that charge, eventually it's going to be a felony, and that's a silly reason to have a felony. I mean, it's a silly reason to get a felony, but that's the most silliest one. So get your driver's license situation taken care of, because in Georgia, we don't have good public transportation, unfortunately. So you got to drive everywhere. So when you get out, go get your driver's license. That way you don't have to come back and see us. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions?
None that I can ask you, no.
Okay. All right. Well, save it for your lawyer. Good luck.
So your first and last name.
Okay. What's your name? Okay.
Jessica Jones.
I got you, Miss Jones. Give me just a second. All right, Miss Jones, you are charged with one count of disorderly conduct, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is $1,500, and one count of misdemeanor obstruction. The bond is $500. So your total bond is $2,000. Okay. Your next court date is August the 22nd. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed. What would you like to do?
Hi, Mom.
Okay. Do you know who that's going to be?
No.
Not yet. Okay, that's fine. We'll just make sure that they put their paperwork in as quickly as possible so they know to get the ball rolling. Do you have any questions about your case? Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
I got 33 First and last name.
Tatiana Laurent.
Yeah.
Not sure if that's a good sound to be made by Judge Nagel.
All right, Miss Laurent. You are charged with misdemeanor false report of a crime. I wavered back and forth on this. I don't particularly. This is a tough one. Is by the letter of the law, there's enough there. Okay. Now I'm not saying that this is going to be the case and whatever, but anyway, I gave you the lowest bond I could of $500. Okay. Are you going to be able to make that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Your next court date is on August the 22nd. But when you bond out, you don't need to appear for that particular court date. Okay. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Well, I mean, they can get a court appointment, please.
I called him. He said he could make it. He's gonna make the sentence.
Okay. All right. I will.
So loud there. What is going on? Is that what she was just charged with, loud? A freaking false report of a crime? I'm over here like 3 more people subscribe to me and I love them all. Jesus Christ. Pay attention, kids.
We'll grant that request. Do you have any questions?
No, that'll be all.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thanks.
All right. What's your name?
Nicole Montgomery.
All right. Miss Montgomery. All right, Miss Montgomery, you are charged with one count of battery misdemeanor. The bond is $1,000, and one count of affray. The bond is $1,000. So your total bond is $2,000. You do have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with Jason Ingram. Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, as well. Yeah, he is. I'm going to tell him the same thing, to not have any contact with you. Okay.
Oh, you guys, that means he's gonna be here. Jason Ingram. Jason Ingram. You know I don't normally think about names, but we're not gonna write it down. We're just gonna remember it mentally because he's coming up. Oh, bitch. I love it when we get to see them together. Ah. Also, this is a sign that my hair is too long. My hair is now at the top of my head. This is a top of the head knot. And it is yet still pissing me the fuck off. Right around here. Which is where I don't want it to be. I hate it. It grows so fast. just a year ago or a year and a half ago, I cut off 2 feet of hair. The lady was like, "You sure?" I was like, "Cut it the fuck off my head right now." Right now.
Your next court date is going to be on August the 22nd, but if you bond out, you do not need to pay for a court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do? Oh, it's muted.
I went for a reverse Karen Bob, and it was fine. Actually, I have a video. So remember, my sister's a hairdresser, right? But she doesn't want to be a hairdresser. She was forced to be a hairdresser by my mother. So I actually don't engage in her services because she doesn't like to do it. So I refuse, even though it's free. I'm like, no, why would I make you do something you hate to do? So I don't go to her anymore. I just go and pay on my own. And so the last time I paid to get my hair done, I got like the reverse lob type style, and it was pretty good. But my hair just grows really fast because I don't blow dry it and I don't straighten it. Forced, yes, Loud Elvis. She was like literally forced out of high school to enroll in hair school. They filled out the paperwork for her. She did it. And then they were like, "You have to give us free hairstyling for life." And she hates it. It's her job and she doesn't want to do it. And my mom literally made the nonprofit, well, whatever, I shouldn't even say that. But let's just say that it turned out my mom was my sister's boss for a while. And then even today, my sister, I'm like, "Don't do it then. Just stop. Like, do what you like to do. I don't know why you have to do their hair," which is why all I can do is control myself. So all I can control is that I do not ever ask her to do my hair because I don't want to ask her to do something she doesn't want to do. That's my line. And that's all I do. So that's how I do it. I pay for my own hair to get done, even though it's very expensive. And I understand why my mom wanted somebody in the family who's doing hair, but it's not ethical in my mind the way that they did that. So I don't partake. Another reason I'm the black sheep. My sister is a very good, kind-hearted person who does things. She was.
Okay.
Can I take this court, appointed attorney?
Okay. Yes, ma'am. I will grant that request for you. Do you have any questions about your case?
Not a question, but it's a statement. Me and Jason are leasing an apartment together.
Okay, well, here's the thing. It looks like it didn't happen at wherever it is that you guys were staying, but you're gonna have a no contact with him. He's gonna have a no contact with you. So y'all need to figure out who's gonna stay there, who's not gonna stay there, how y'all gonna get your stuff of who's not. You know, I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but here's the thing. Y'all aren't supposed to be around each other because y'all aren't good for each other, at least not right now. You know, once your case is done or your bond conditions change or his bond conditions and his change, then y'all can be around each other. And hopefully y'all don't get yourselves into trouble. But as of right now, until that's the case, y'all can't be around each other. All right. Good luck to you.
So we got to keep an eye out for the boyfriend. We'll see when he comes around.
My name is Bertha.
Can you do my eyebrows, please? I'll literally fly to you to do my eyebrows. My eyebrows have been a bane of my existence for my whole life. I've just literally determined that they are two human beings that live on my face and deserve their own recognition. That's the only way I can come to terms with them. But if you want to do my eyebrows, I'll make time.
John White.
Okay.
And put them in the bowl. Lamar. Hey,
Something that's why I'm just grabbing the.
I'm looking it up, Sashina.
Okay, Miss White, you are charged with one count of reckless conduct, which is a misdemeanor.
You got one more to go.
I'm dismissing that charge against you, okay? One of the main reasons I'm dismissing against you is I don't have a victim's name or date of birth. So some people would say that.
Holy shit! I'm standing here fucking so selfish. Like, oh, look at my eyebrows. They're actually totally different. They're totally different. He's dismissing a charge right in front of my face. Dismissal, damn. This is why I love you. You keep me on my toes. I never knows when you're gonna dismiss. And give us the big D. Woo! Big D. Honestly, I do this all by myself. I do it all by myself. If y'all weren't here, I'd be doing it, but it feels so much better to do it with friends nearby. But seriously, my eyebrows are totally different being. And I have a problem, which is that I taught myself how to raise one eyebrow, only one. And I believe that this whole eye is drooping, which I need Botox on one side. And I'm interested. I'm interested in one side. That's what I'm interested in.
That a technicality, I say that that's just following the law. The allegations here are, not very flattering to you. You know what I mean? I understand I have children, and they can be very frustrating, but you're a grown up. So you have to, find productive ways of dealing with children. You have to lead by example. And, I can't say that you were leading by example, but I also can't say that you broke the law, at least not in my eyes. So, look, just because I dismiss it doesn't mean that they can't come back and add facts later on down the road. I believe the statute of limitations is 2 years. I'm not saying that they will. I'm not saying that they won't. But just understand that you as the adult and as the parent, you have to act in a way that's going to not end you up where you are right now. Okay. So as long as you do not have anything holding you, I will draw up the dismissal and send it to the sheriff's office and they'll get you processed out. So don't pick up any more charges while you're there. Be on your P's and Q's. Just be patient. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
All right. Please don't come back.
No, I won't. Trust me.
All right. We'll see.
Sorry, if you're not interested in the deep story of me, you're not going to be interested in this dream, but this is the truth. This is in 2002, so I guess, how old was I in 2002? I was in grade 9. Where am I? Right there. Oh, wait. There I am. Why can't I make it work? Focus her face, you dumb bitch. Oh my god, I can't do it. I look the same. I basically have looked the same since I was like 11 years old. There's been no difference. My eyebrows were the best in the 8th grade. There was an 8th grade. I graduated in 06, but it wasn't a real graduation, remember? It was a fake graduation. Oh my god. I'm a definite, can somebody double check? I'm born in 1988 and I graduated in 06. Am I Gen Z? Am I literally a Gen Z? Because I don't really know and approve. Also, I'd like to apologize to Tyler because I believe I have his yearbooks too. But, because I have doubles of each yearbook for some reason. But look at how cool we were in our yearbook. Look at what we had in the yearbook. Attack of the 50-foot woman. That's pretty fucking cool. and then the table of contents. And of course, I was not cool in high school at all. I was like, we had a piercing page where we talked about the piercings of all the kids. This is crazy. My school is within sight. I can see it right now. I have more of the yearbooks anyway. Losing people reference. Maybe I am. What was this year? What year was this? This was 2004, 2005. Somebody wrote in there, suck my wang, Chang. And in this year, I'm just going to tell you right now. Again, my eyebrows were out of control. I would forget my own last name. Seriously, I did. It's oh, there it is. Oh, that looks good in that one. Right there. Fucking, oh, it won't fucking focus. It's okay. It's fine. Regardless, what I'm saying is that I believe I'm a Gen Zer by just like sheer luck, but I'm also a mom of a fucking 16-year-old. So Gen Z means nothing to me. I've also birthed a Gen Z child, I believe. Anyways, I'm 88, March 25th, 1988. I don't think I have the yearbook of. Our school was so fucking creative. Our school was the school where everybody went where you got kicked out of the other schools. And I started there because that's just where I live. It's a block away. But that's where everybody goes. We had a jazz band. We had all the cool kids. Everybody who later, like when you go to high school and you're like, God, that person's a fucking loser. Like, though, I do not ever want to see that person again. We had none of those people at my high school. There was none of that. There was just people who in high school are losers, but in real life are fucking cool. And you're just like, oh my God, wow, that was really cool. There was no fucking assholes. There's just nobody getting in fucking shoved in lockers and none of that. Like, it's just cool. It was a cool school. But it was known as the inner city shitty school. And I was like, cool, fine, stay the fuck away, bitch. So I enjoy it just fine. And here's the beauty of it. The school was so old, it was like 125 years old. And it was, the inside of it was a courtyard, but you couldn't access the courtyard. However, there was an inner stairwell that led all the way up the 4 flights of stairs. And it was completely lined in stained glass, and you could see it because of the inner courtyard. And so it's still available. It's still right up the street. I can see it with my eyes right now. But it was the coolest, like, inside of a school I've ever seen in my life. And I definitely fucked in that school many times. Many times. I only had one boyfriend in school, but we fucked all over it.
All right, any more females?
No, that's all the females, Your Honor. Do you want the translator to come out first?
Yes, please.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Miss Toles.
But remember, I went and graduated and then had a baby within like a year.
Some people may speak another language and you don't know.
All right, Your Honor, here's a translator right here.
Okay. Ms. Toles, if I can get you to raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that you will accurately translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. If you could ask this gentleman what his name is, please.
Señor, ¿cuál es su nombre, por favor?
Junior Omar García, La Reinaga.
Junior Omar García, La Reinaga.
Okay. Let me find him on my.
No habla español, señor.
Okay. La Reinaga. Okay. No.
Y'all, I had social
You said
media
La
before I
Reinaga, correct?
graduated.
La Reinaga, ¿cierto, señor?
Sí, cierto.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. I got it.
It should be.
All right, sir. You are
I've told you before, the vibe I'm going for in this channel is circa 2001 Yahoo chat room, where you are probably a little bit uncomfortable, but still like into it. And nobody's making you do anything you don't really want to do, but you're like, sort of like, wow, this is a bit funny, and parts of my body are tingling. Like, that's the aim I'm going for. That's my fucking aim, okay? AIM, aim, get it? ICQ numbers.
charged with one misdemeanor count of battery.
Muy bien, señor. A usted se le imputa una sola infracción de violencia como delito menor.
Okay. I am going to set a bond of $3,500.
Le voy a imponer una
ASL.
fianza a $3,500.
Okay.
Now, you do have a special condition of your bond.
Ahora, su fianza conlleva una condición especial.
Do not have any contact with Elvia Garcia.
Que no tenga ningún contacto con Elvia García.
Okay. Also, to not return to 9074 Greenwood Drive.
Y también que no regrese al 9074 de la Greenwood Drive,
And that is in Jonesboro, Georgia.
que está ubicado en Jonesboro, Georgia.
Is that your, excuse me, is that your address?
Señor, ¿es su domicilio?
Ese es.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Do you need to get your belongings from there?
Necesita ir a recoger sus pertenencias de ahí.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to put in your bond that you are able to get your belongings from there, but you have to go with this, you make arrangements with the sheriff's department in order to do so. You can't just show up by yourself and say that you want to get your stuff.
Señor, voy a disponer en su orden de fianza que a usted se le permite regresar a recoger sus pertenencias, pero solamente lo puede hacer acompañado de un agente del departamento del sheriff. Usted tendrá que arreglar una cita con ellos para que le acompañe. No puede nada más presentarse ahí y exigir sus cosas.
You wanted to go ahead and get them the guys at 12 first.
Your next court date is going to be on August the 22nd.
Su próxima cita judicial, señor, será el 22 de agosto.
If you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date.
Y si sale en libertad bajo fianza, no tendrá que presentarse a esa cita judicial.
You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney.
Usted tiene derecho a contratar a su propio abogado o ser considerado para el nombramiento de un abogado de oficio.
What would you like to do?
Como quisiera, señor.
Quisiera pagar la fianza hoy mismo, si es posible.
I would like to pay the bond today, if that's possible.
Hold on, I interrupted. Did somebody say Space Invaders as in like the math video game where you fucking played math and it shot at things? And it was also associated with a snowman avalanche game where you traveled through that game and like played math games? Because that is a foundation of my life, basically. Ugh, that's not Space Invaders? Well, that's a Canadian version, I guess. I don't know. Lines of Coke were much later in my life, Elvis. Early on, straight lines of code. Later on, lines of Coke.
That will be possible to you, but I need to know if you want to hire an attorney or if you want me to appoint one for you.
Eso sí sería posible, señor, pero también necesito saber si usted quiere contratar a su propio abogado o quiere que yo le nombre un abogado de oficio.
Eso es para la próxima cita.
And that would be for the next court date.
Well, it'll be for your entire case, but yes, they'll be with you for your next court date.
Será para todo el caso, pero sí, le acompañará en la próxima cita judicial, señor.
Okay. Aunque pague la fianza hoy.
Even if I pay my bond today?
Yes, just because you pay your bond, that doesn't mean the case is over. You're still going to have to go to.
So Sheena, the video that you sent me is private. I finally looked at it. It is private. Make it unlisted and then I can view it. Also, I spent an entire summer playing The Sims. I believe it was The Sims 2. 8 to 12 hours a day minimum. Absolute minimum. My boyfriend was playing a PlayStation game while I was playing the Sims PC game, and I swear to God, minimum 8 to 12 hours a day. For the entire summer, it was the best summer of my life. Best summer of my life. Still trying to replicate spending 3 months fucking playing video games and worrying about nothing. It is seriously hard to fucking match. Still think about it.
The court in the future.
Sí, aunque se pague la fianza hoy mismo, no significa que el caso se haya terminado. Más adelante tendrá que presentarse a citas judiciales.
Okay.
Okay.
Voy a contratar a un abogado.
I'm going to hire an attorney.
Okay, very good. That's fine. Just make sure you tell them that they need to file their paperwork so that the court knows that they're going to represent you.
Muy bien, señor.
Listen, him and I made so much what is now considered inappropriate corn that I'm not even going to mention, but it's between him and I, but I'm sure he still has it all. He was never the type to throw anything away. So not only does he have all my Sims people, he has all my slutty people too. But we're not allowed to transmit it, which is so weird. I've literally looked into it, but even as an adult, oh, N64, I had a fucking N64 and played that all the time as well, by the way. I still play video games all the time. It's so weird. I forget to mention it, but I like love playing video games still. But he's got so many I'm sure he's got the PCs. His mom called me and was like, "I have your old piano books." I'm like, "Yeah, I bet that's not all you guys have got in the house."
Señor, está bien. Solamente infórmales que tienen que presentar su carta de representación con el tribunal para que el tribunal sepa que lo está representando. ¿Está bien?
Sí, está bien.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about your case?
¿Alguna pregunta, señor, sobre su caso?
Sí, ¿puedo pagar mi fianza hoy para salir hoy mismo?
Yes. May I pay my bond today to be released today?
Okay. The answer to your first question is yes, you can pay it today. The answer to the second question of whether you can leave today, if you do not have any holds on you, if you don't have any charges anywhere else, and you do not have any immigration holds, then yes, you should be released as quickly as we can process everything.
Sí, señor. La respuesta a la primera pregunta es sí, se puede pagar la fianza hoy mismo. Y la respuesta a la segunda pregunta es, si usted no tiene ninguna orden de detención.
Ma'am, I'm talking about this plate. Oh my God, I knocked over the signs. You guys, because I'm positive my family doesn't watch this and they're dicks anyways, this plate was made for me as a child, and my mother has taken custody of it until recently, when I recently retook custody of it. Allegedly. I'm gonna have to take this video down. Anyways, I want a replica made of this plate so that I can replace it with a like styrofoam version of this plate. It's extremely heavy. And it's mine. Oh, don't worry. It's been repossessed and it will be extremely hard to find. It will be harder to find than my love. Let's put it that way. Seriously, it is so fucking heavy. I can't even begin to. And it was made specifically for me because it was made for me to have a picture taken in it, which I have. I also have a picture of my daughter taken in it. Anyways, just so anybody's watching, this plate will be relocated tomorrow. So regardless, if you come and look for it here, it's not going to be here. But I do want another version. So Tin Man, even if it's a small version, I want it. Oh my god, it's so heavy. You can hear how heavy it is. You hear it? It's real fucking pottery or whatever it's made. Beautiful. It's mine. I want another version made of it. Details. Okay, let's keep going. I'm not burying it in the woods. I have people.
En otro lugar, ninguna otra acusación o cargos pendientes en otro lugar, y si tampoco tiene orden de detención de inmigración, a usted lo pueden dejar en libertad en cuanto se puede tramitar la salida bajo fianza.
¿A qué horas puedo saber eso yo?
What time would I be able to know that?
Unfortunately, I can't give you that, but as soon as we're done with everybody, they're gonna start processing the paperwork. So we're gonna do it as quickly as possible.
Lamentablemente no le puedo dar esa información, pero en cuanto se termine con todas las personas detenidas para la lista de hoy, van a empezar a tramitar las salidas de fianza. Entonces, en cuanto se pueda.
Oh, we're gonna go off the list, but you're gonna bring it straight out to it.
All right. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Muy bien, buena suerte, señor.
Gracias.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Tolles, I think that's all we have. We don't have anyone else for a Spanish interpreter, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, Ms. Tolles, you're free to go. Siempre es un placer verte.
Igualmente.
I'm still here if you need us, but I remember we did film.
In on the same related charges, some of the charges that occurred in jail. Do you want to see them first or you want to see them last?
I mean, we've got a lot of those. So, I mean, if they're a problem for you all, just bring them up and I'll figure it out. You just give me who you got, and then I got the paperwork in alphabetical order, but I'm happy to take it if they're.
He's always got it in alphabetical order. Tin Man, shoot me an email or message in Discord, and I will send you all the details you need. Make no mistake, I will go down over that plate. For some reason, it's so important to me. Judge Nagel keeps things in alphabetical order, which I love, but I also say, like, you got to be willing to, move with the times, Judge. You can't just have, that. And to everybody who had an amazing childhood, I love that for you. I'm so thankful for that. And what I would ask of you is to be able to take the feeling that you got and try and impart that on those that didn't, because when you've not had a good childhood, you often not only feel bad about your childhood, but even when you feel good, you often feel bad about feeling good, because that's what's been ingrained into you. And so it's important that we reteach all of our friends that were victims that they are so worthy of love, that we are so excited to be happy and excited with them, that it's okay. There's, oftentimes when I see people like trolling or being mean, I think to myself, like, how sad must their lives be that they have to do that for attention. I remember one time somebody came into the chat and talked about that it was their birthday, and at the end they admitted that it wasn't their birthday, and I was like, that's okay, but like, maybe next time let's talk about the fact that it's not your birthday, but you need attention. Like, that's okay too here, But seriously, with those that have not had a great childhood or they don't understand that, they really will struggle with feeling happiness and acceptance of their own joy. And that's something that you can help with when you have had a great childhood, is that you can say to somebody, I'm so happy to see you happy. I'm excited to be here with you. This is how, and you have to teach them basically how to have that excitement. Your parents taught you, and that's so thankful, but not every parent knew that, and not every parent knows how to teach that. And so, as adults and friends and chosen family, which is what I think we all are, we get to teach that to our friends. So, we have that ability. And if you ever have a question about that or a weird feeling about that, you can ask and we can suss it out together. We don't always know, but we can figure it out ourselves. And you can see that I've this is no fucking fake background here. It's just me knocking shit over, and that's the way it is. But I love being here with you guys, and that's the important. And we have a background of court just to remind us that we're not quite at that fucking rock bottom yet.
Problem.
Okay. Yeah, right. All right, I got you covered.
Okay. Just make sure they tell me their name when they come up, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So we're about to get them guys right now. It should be Billups, the first one coming up.
Okay.
Once they see the judge, they go,
oh,
yeah. Put them in here. We're going to five.
But no.
Dillard? Yeah, Dillard.
And then we'll keep that. Keep it simple.
You're for the battery.
So I'm right here, listen, right here. Look at the judge, tell me your last name, first name.
My name is Sean Billups.
All right, Mr. Billups, you were charged with 1 count of felony riot in a penal institution, 1 count of aggravated assault, which is a felony, 1 count of aggravated battery, which is a felony, inmate in possession of illegal substance, which is a felony.
Guys, can you do me a huge favor? Looking at Legal Stuff, who is a great supporter of mine and a friend, a personal friend, is like 1 sub away from 15,000 subscribers. Can we make it happen tonight? Can we make it happen so I can text her and be like, actually, bitch, look at your fucking profile. You've hit 15K. Because that would make me exceptionally happy if I could send that message to her. Her name is Looking at Legal Stuff. Looking at Legal Stuff. Most of you are probably already subscribed, but if one of you is not, she is that close. I love to make my friends happy. It is one of the best things I can do. And honestly, when I she's at $14,998, now $999. Oh my God, I want to be able to do it. Hold on, I think I have another account or two that I can work on this for. You guys, honestly, the reality is that what I've learned over life is that if somebody who has a lot of money comes to you and says, I can't be happy, my life sucks, well, direct them to me. I can make them happy. Making other people happy is such a joy in life that some people have never known, and it is absolutely addictive. So making other people happy is something that we can all do in a little way, as small as subscribing to a channel, or as big as sending somebody money, or as big as sending them an email and saying, hey, thank you, you've really helped me. Like, when I get emails, I thought, oh my God, I think my other account might be her 15K. That would be so great for her. I really hope that happens. I'm going to text her right now. We'll keep watching, but it makes me entirely happy that we can maybe make things like that happen.
Interference with government property, which is felony, and conspiracy to commit a crime, and the underlying being a felony. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 felony charges. Because you are already in custody and picked up these charges, I'm not going to grant a bond. It's been considered and denied on all charges. Your next court date is going to be on August 23rd. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Get a court attorney.
Okay. All right, I will do that. Do you have any questions about your case?
No.
All right, good luck to you, sir. Who's next?
Give me a person last name.
Corey Dillard.
Get back.
Give me just a second, sir.
Oh, yes.
All right, Mr. Dillon, you are charged with 1 count of rioting in a penal institution, which is a felony, 1 count of aggravated assault with an object, which is a felony, 1 count of aggravated battery, which is a felony, inmate in possession of a illegal substance, which is a felony, interference with government property, which is a felony, and conspiracy to commit a crime with the underlying being a felony. Because you are incarcerated and picked up these charges, bond has been considered and denied on all charges. Your next court date is going to be on August the 23rd. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Say it loud. Say it loud. Court-appointed attorney. Say it loud.
I just hire my own attorney.
Are you on? Let me talk to the judge.
I hire my own attorney, Jay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what I'm going to put. If you change your mind on your next court date, just let them know. Do you have any questions? All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Person.
Oh, it's on mute.
Shamarion Felix.
Okay, Mr. Felix. Mr. Felix, did you hear what I just told the other
They
two
beat
people?
me low again. That's crazy.
Okay, that's all right. I was just curious. All right, Mr. Felix, you're charged with 1 count of rioting in a penal institution, which is, well, all charges are felonies, okay? All your charges are felonies: rioting, aggravated assault, aggravated battery, inmate in possession of an illegal object, interference with government property, and conspiracy to commit a crime with the underlying felony. Bond has been considered and denied on all of your charges, so I'm not granting a bond on anything. Your next court date is going to be on August the 23rd for your preliminary hearing. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court-appointed attorney.
Got it. All right, I'm going to grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
Yes, sir. Do you think I'm guilty?
Well, it's not up to me to decide that, Mr. Felix. Unfortunately, in this step, this is just whether there's probable cause, and I do find that there's probable cause for the warrant. But you'll be going to a preliminary hearing where you can actually make the state put up evidence against you at that hearing, not at this one though. So it doesn't. That question is a good one, but it's irrelevant. Any other questions?
Okay, so you're not going to be the officer. I mean, not the officer, but the judge. Okay, this is not superior.
I'm not going to be the one in Superior Court. Probably not. I mean, I could be, but not right now. All right. All right. Good luck to you. We have Gordon coming up. What's your name, sir?
Gordon.
All right, Mr. Gordon. All right, sir. You are charged. All charges are felonies. Rioting in a penal institution, aggravated assault, aggravated battery, inmate.
So that means they've had another riot in the penal facility there, guys, which is a fucking nightmare. Jesus Christ. Again. Ah!
possession, illegal substance, interference with government property, and conspiracy to commit a crime, underlying felony. Bond has been considered and denied on all charges, so I'm not going to.
Looking at legal stuff, you're here. Welcome. Congratulations on 15K. I'm so happy for you, friend. And you've been there from the beginning for me. We live in the same part of the world, and I love you so, so much. I'm so proud of you. So proud of all your hard work. I know how much hard work it is, and I'm so proud of you.
To put a bond on any of these charges right now.
Where is that, sir?
I'm sorry?
Where is that, Your Honor?
Well, A, you're already in custody and now you're picking up these charges, and B, these are pretty serious charges. So if you can't behave yourself in jail, why would I give you a bond so you can act wild out on the streets? That doesn't make any sense, sir. Now, your next court date is going to be on August the 23rd. You'll have an opportunity to have the state put up evidence against you if that's what you want to do, or they can negotiate with the DA's office for a bond if they're willing to do that. All right. Now you have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What do you want to do?
I would have to speak. Can I speak to my lawyer first? I do have a paid attorney. I go with my paid lawyer.
Okay. Well, just make sure that they understand that, if you have previous charges, they may not know that they're going to represent you on these current charges. So just make sure you discuss it with them.
Actually, Sashina, I have a couple ideas and we can get you moving too, girl. I got a couple ideas for you. I will for sure link your channel, first of all, but also I have a couple other ideas to get you moving on some shearing videos I've got ideas for. Also, like, in my mind, I planned when I had a fucking farm with all the little animals on it. I don't have that, but I have all the ideas for the videos still, so we'll make it happen. Don't worry, girlfriend. We'll get you out of those fucking classrooms, back onto the farm.
Okay. All right. So I got it that you're going to hire your own attorney. Do you have any questions?
I thought it was proven innocent to guilty, sir.
No, it's not proven anything. You were charged with a crime, and I find that there's probable cause. I'm not saying that you're guilty. I didn't sentence you to any punishment, but I'm not going to grant a bond. Any other questions? All right. What's your name, sir?
Ralph.
Yeah. You got his sound.
Hold on. It got cut off. Give me that name one more time.
Ralph.
Yeah, you said that.
First and last name. That's your last name.
Oh, all right. Jalen Malcolm, is that you?
Yes, you are.
A little bit of a delay, Mr. Malcolm. So when I stop speaking, if you talk too fast, it gets cut off. All right, sir. You are charged with all of these charges are felonies, by the way. 1 count of rioting in a penal institution, 1 count of aggravated assault with a weapon, 1 count or an object, 1 count of aggravated battery, 1 count of inmate in possession of a illegal object, 1 count of interference with government property, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit a crime with the underlying crime being a felony. Just as I told your co-defendants that bond has been considered and denied on all these charges. Y'all are already in custody and catching more charges, so I'm not going to.
I know, and we are going to be talking about Modness tonight, where we talk about the mod competition that's going to be happening. Sashina, about the name of your channel without any identifier www.shit, and I will look it up and link it quickly. But just type in the name that if I type that into Google, I will get it. Because I thought I had it, but I don't. Also, Modness is going to be intense, you guys. I just want you to know that. Like, many will compete, few will conquer. Where will you find yourself?
Grant a bond in order for y'all to get out and start acting wild in the community. Your next court date is August the 23rd for a preliminary hearing. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do? Say that one more time.
Oh, yeah, I get an attorney.
Well,
no, you can give me an attorney.
oh, okay, got you. Understood. You just have to, it's a court-appointed attorney, but I got you. I understand what you're saying. Okay, all right, Mr. Malcolm, do you have any questions about your case?
Nah.
All right, good luck to you. Next should be Matthew. What's your name, sir?
Devon Matthews.
All right, Mr. Matthews, you, I don't know if you heard what I told Mr. Malcolm and the other gentleman. You were charged with all felonies, 1 count of rioting in a penal institution, 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of aggravated battery, 1 count of inmate in possession of a illegal object, 1 count of interference with government property, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit a crime with the underlying crime being a felony. Bond has been considered and denied on all charges, so I'm not granting a bond on any of them. Your next court date is August the 23rd for a preliminary hearing. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
You hire me an attorney, sir?
Yeah, I'll consider you for a court-appointed. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but I can't hire anyone, but I understand what you're asking me to do. And yes, I will appoint an attorney for you. Do you have any questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Good luck to you.
Criteria to be featured on my channel is not that you're court-related content, just so you know. It's, oh, shit. I hit a button. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But seriously, it's not court-related content. It is, the fact that I like you, basically. That's pretty much it. Seriously, I fucked this up, you guys. I fucked it up. The guys in the truck fucked it up, I guess. Is it 2 ahead? Why is it gone? There it is. That's not it. That's not it. Shit. Legit. Oh, Control Shift T reopens. Nope. Not the right one. Okay. Cool beans. Well, we'll figure it out together. Don't worry. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. I went back instead of forward. This is the quality that you're going to get. It's B team in the truck at this time of night. It's absolutely true, Elvis. And normally I try to take care of it myself. But I'm going to guess that we were like here.
I understand. So what I'm going to do is.
Sounds good.
Like I discussed earlier, I'm putting in your bond conditions that you could either A, go there with the sheriff's department and get your stuff, or B, have somebody take your belongings again until your case is resolved, or the bond conditions are changed. Your next court date is going to be on August the 22nd. But if you August the 22nd, but if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I would like for the court to appoint me one.
Okay. All right, I will do that. Do you have any questions about your case, Mr. Allen?
Yes, sir. I got a question about the bond.
Okay.
My question is, you said I got a $3,500. I mean, a $35,000. You said?
No. $3,500 on one and $2,000 on the other.
Okay, so is them together so together is my bond gonna be like $5,500?
Correct.
And then can I use 10% to a bail bond?
Yes. It's typically 10 to 20%. I can't tell you the exact number,
It's
but
on
yeah.
the bond. And I got one more question. or if my family, can somebody sign off on my bond online?
See,
Like,
here's, yeah, I wish I could answer that question for you. I would have already said it because I get that question all the time. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. No problem. Good luck to you. What's your name, sir?
Here, Brian.
Oh, that's not the. Wait, give me that one more time.
Terry Brown.
Oh, they said they couldn't find you, Mr. Brown, but apparently he did find you.
Yeah, it's Durham.
All right, Mr. Brown, you're charged with one count of let me see.
Can I finish everybody else?
Two count.
Sorry, they couldn't find him, but now they could. Again, the things you hear in court that are concerning. Oh, they couldn't find you. What? Say what now? Or, I thought you were released already. That's another one that I'm like, whoa, that's a problem. Like, those are big communication issues in a jail. He does look familiar, Courtney.
Counts of sexual battery. They appear to be felonies. Your next two counts of sexual battery. They appear to be felonies. Your bond on each count is $10,000. So that's a total of $20,000. Also, do not have any contact with Maria Victoria or Noelia Carl. I assume you don't know who they are. Also, do not go back to the Atlanta airport unless you have a valid plane ticket to fly. So just don't go.
Y'all, don't go to the Atlanta airport. Don't transfer there. That and the Seattle airport, they got problems. They got big problems going on at those airports. I'm not kidding. Also, good night, Beverly. Nice to see you. We will talk to you soon, friend. Thanks for being here. I know you're already subscribed and liked, so I don't even have to remind you. All the rest of the dicks that haven't done it yet, yes, but I don't need to worry about Beverly.
Go back there. Okay. If you need to get somewhere, drive. Don't go back to the airport. Your next court date is August the 23rd, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to be considered for a court-appointed attorney, or you can hire your own. What would you like to do?
What's my either or?
I'm sorry?
I said either or.
Well, I mean, you tell me which one.
Lawyer.
Yeah, we got the same person in here telling people that they need to hire their own attorney. You can't afford your own attorney, son. If you at the airport getting arrested, you need to take a court-appointed attorney. Seriously.
Huh?
Lawyer, man.
All right, I'm gonna appoint one for you. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. I do have a question. I'm down there. I'm gonna ask you a question, man. If I'm with another insignificant other, well, a significant other.
No, I'm not answering. That's not the type of question that I can answer.
Next.
Anything else?
No.
He just overrode him. He just literally was like, nah, I'm gonna appoint an attorney for you. That was so fucking gorgeous. Judge Nagel is just there. He's for the man. He's out there for the man. He knows what to deal with. Atlanta airport might be fine, but they putting people to, they need to get, I don't know, a work release program going on where they deal with that. Judge Nagel was just like, no, absolutely not. We're just gonna appoint you an attorney. I love him for this. This is like the kind of fucking judicial authority I want. I don't want people getting high and mighty on people freaking out. I want people getting high and mighty on people not taking attorneys. That's the kind of shit you want your judges worried about. Okay? That's the system that you all want. Okay? As a Canadian looking in, this is your man. You want him teaching classes on how to do fucking bond court. Okay?
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Next.
What's your name?
Quincy Darrow.
Whoa, bitch, we got a pink outfit. That's not just color. What the fuck? Why? Everything's been orange from tiny, tiny, tiny man. I'm right down here to big, big, giant man. They've all worn orange. They were sponsored by Barbie Girl, the movie.
Oh, Mr. Darrow, I got you. All right, Mr. Darrow, you are charged with 1 misdemeanor count of public drunkenness. The bond is 1,000. 1 misdemeanor count of disorderly conduct. The bond is 1,500. And 1 misdemeanor count of battery. The bond is 3,500. Your total bond is $6,000. Okay. You do have a special condition not to have any contact with Joshua Sexton, who you probably don't even know, and do not return back to 6595 Terra Boulevard. That's Cafe Hot Wing Restaurant. Do not go back to that restaurant. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on August the 22nd. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I take the whatever attorney I get.
Okay, the court appointed. Okay, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
No.
Oh yeah. No.
No.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
For medical.
At work, go to the computer, take it out.
At work.
Yeah, at the end, Sashina, I'm going to share your stuff. I promise. I might have to
What's your
mute
name?
it.
Where am I at work?
All right, Mr. Atwater, you were charged with 1 count of commercial burglary and 1 count of criminal trespass. I'm dismissing the case against you. I don't have enough evidence to hold you on these particular charges. Now, those charges, if they come back and are written in a way to where there's
It was here when I
evidence against you, then that could happen. I'm not saying that it will happen. I'm not saying that it won't happen. But they're not written in a way.
Big D! We got the big D! I'm just dancing. Dancing. Woo! Oh, I love it, Judge. Thank you so much. Anybody else that doesn't like this, goodbye. This is what this channel is. It will always be. Me dancing when judges do what I want. Woo!
Can hold you here. So as long as you don't pick up any charges and you don't have anything that's holding you, we'll get that paperwork signed and you'll be free to go so long as you don't have anything holding you. Do you understand? Do you have any questions? Huh?
I know, Hector. I gotta work on the template.
So you said if I was trying to hold anything,
No. If you do not have for example, if you do not have a probation violation, if you're not wanted in another county, if you don't have an immigration hold, as long as those things aren't in place, you'll be free to go as soon as this paperwork is processed. I'm dismissing the case against you.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay, right there.
All right. Good luck.
No.
What's your name?
I'm an on-screen personality, Hector. This is what we figured out. Oh, the OnlyFans is coming soon, but I have to do the paperwork for that properly too. Takes time.
Remember you said I ain't hit it bill 5,000. I ain't hit it.
Okay. All right, sir. Mr. Hayden, you are charged with 1 count of misdemeanor battery. The bond is 5,000. 1 count of felony false imprisonment. The bond is 5,000. You also have 2 cruelty to children charges. I'm dismissing those. There's no victim listed in there, so I'm dismissing it. Those charges may come back later, just FYI. You also have a special condition, do not have any contact with Jennifer Porter. So do not have any contact with her. Also, do not return to 276 Upper Riverdale Road. Don't go back there. Your next court date is on August the 23rd, but if you find out, you do not have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
For a court appointment, I have a question.
Give me a second. All right, I'm going to grant the request for a court-appointed attorney. What is your question?
I do live with that resident. Another question, is there any way you can lower the bond? I can get out a little sooner. School.
The answer. So your first thing is, you listed a different address on your court-appointed form. You listed an address at Poplar Springs. But to the extent that you need to get any belongings there, I will put in the court and the bond order that you can go to the sheriff's department and they'll go with you to get your stuff, or you can have someone get your stuff for you, so long as they don't make a scene and cause any trouble. As far as the bond goes, no. Any other questions?
Sir.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
The total amount is 10,000.
Correct.
All right.
I dismissed 2 of the charges against you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Who's next?
Judge sounds a bit done. He's like, who's
What's your
next?
name?
Jason Ingram.
Okay, Mr. Ingram.
Yes.
Sir, you're charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is $1,000, and then 1 misdemeanor count of affray. The bond is $1,000. You do have a special condition to not have any contact with Miss Nicole Montgomery. Now, I know that she was also taken into custody, and I told her not to have any contact with you. Okay, so y'all just.
This is the boyfriend of the girlfriend we talked about earlier, guys. Not what I expected. As a pansexual, not what I expected.
Stay away from each other until all of this resolves itself. Y'all may not be the most compatible people. I don't know what your relationship is, or even if there is one or whatever, but just she's not good for you, you're not good for her. Your next court date is August the 22nd, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court-appointed.
Okay. I will grant that request.
Pretty sure he said tort appointed. Tort appointed. Hi, Jay.
Do you have any questions, Mr. Egan?
Yes, so my bond is 2,000, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck. Don't come back.
Thank you. I won't.
All right.
Hey, you can't.
What's your name, sir?
Robert Jackson.
All right, Mr. Jackson. Let me see here.
Who got next?
First of all, that is a sound that Judge Webster from Texas makes, and now Judge Nagel from Georgia makes. It's a very hard noise for me to make. I'll attempt it again. It implies like 3 words. Like acknowledgement plus acceptance and continuance in a way. It's so weird. But the way that I have to use my mouth to say it is so different. It's weird. It's odd. It's not a Canadian phrase, let's put it that way. This is not something I would say in Canada. And if I said it already, first of all, I'll say that I say y'all now as a standard because of how much I type it and say it with you guys, and people look at me very funny. They look at me like I'm trying to be offensive, and I'm like, no, I fucking earned my right to say y'all. I have enough Southern friends. I mean y'all when I say y'all. Like, I'm not trying to be rude about it. I just say it because I mean it. But people up here are like, ma'am. And when somebody up here calls you ma'am, like I was called ma'am today in the dispensary. This fucking bitch tried to tell me something about weed, and I was like, listen, that's super cute that you want to call me ma'am and tell me something about weed, but you're wrong and I'm right. So just shut up. She was literally trying to tell me that they didn't add keef to the weed. I was like, honey, why would they sell you 31% THC fucking ground up weed, but not a 31% THC flower? Because they don't have it. Because they had to create it by adding keef to it. Like, duh.
Mr. Jackson, I struggled with this one, to be quite honest with you. You're charged with misdemeanor criminal trespass. The bond is $500. I can't really go any lower than that because then a bonding company won't touch you. Are you going to be able to make that?
Yes. Well, I got to pay the whole 500.
Usually it's 10 to 20%, but I mean, if you can pay the full 500, just, that's up to you if you want to do that as well.
You got to talk to them down there. We don't have to tell them what
Your next court date is going to be on August the 22nd, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date, okay?
You go back, let them know. Like I said, we don't have
You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
You can put me in for a court-appointed attorney. Question is, if there anybody else I can talk to, you can actually talk to the supervisor.
Okay, I will grant.
So here's a great example of what keef is, Harmony, and it's a great question. So when marijuana is grown, they have trichomes that attach to them, and those trichomes contain terpenes and different like taste molecules on marijuana. They appear as crystals or as sort of like shiny dust. And on good quality marijuana, you get a lot of keef or crystal on the weed. The ideal scenario when you harvest marijuana is that you don't touch the bud at all, that your gloves come out and they aren't sticky at all. Ideally, when you trim weed, and I've trimmed excellent quality weed, you are not touching the bud at all. You're touching the stem and you're cutting around it, and your gloves aren't sticky. But a lot of poor quality trimmers will think, they'll literally collect a form of hash off of their gloves when they're collecting it. When I started working at a specific unnamed dispensary, the first thing I noticed when I first started working there was that they made their own pre-rolls, which is great. The process was a problem. The first day, I was like, tell me what you got going on here. It actually hurts me to say this. It hurts. They took a sieve, like a colander, and they would dump all the jars of weed that we had into the colander and shake it. And so all the keef that was on the weed would fall off into the pre-rolls. And so kudos to the people that figured out the pre-rolls were the way to go with this dispensary, because they were getting the best fucking keef loaded pre-rolls around. But that is not the way to treat your product. You don't want to be shaking off the weed every time. I threw away that fucking colander. I saw it one time and I took it and I was like, this is never again being used here. And I destroyed it. I wouldn't allow it anytime further. But basically, so keef is the THC crystals on marijuana that get you high and give you the strain effects. And so when you shake them off, that like in a grinder, a lot of the time you'll have a keef catcher. And what you can do is you can take that keef that you've caught over time and put it into other pre-rolls. But what bad or unscrupulous marijuana companies will do is sell marijuana flower that they've literally knocked the keef off. So they'll sell the flower, they'll test it first, then they'll knock it off, then they'll sell it as the pre-knockoff test. Then they'll take the keef and they'll reinfuse either pre-rolls or another product with those, and in order to get that THC percentage up again. And here's the problem is that once in a legalized market, you never see the product. The person who's selling this product never sees it. They may purchase it from the wholesaler, and that wholesaler will sell it to them in a packaged item, and they will sell it to their customer without ever laying eyes on it. When I managed a dispensary, there was not a fucking batch of weed that got past me without me touching, smelling, smoking, and checking every bit of it. And I can't tell you how many pounds of weed I turned back. I was like, take this shit back. You can get fucked if you think I'm going to sell that. That's not the way it works. The problem is that the government doesn't realize it's a hands-on management. You can't actually regulate each crop to be the same. So you need to test and be eyes on with each crop. But they've made it so that you can't do that here in the system. And so that's actually a huge oversight. What they should have done was allowed the unique boutique growers who already create a quality product, because they have people to respond to. When you bring me product and I say to you, hey, here, yeah, that's shit, I'm not going to sell it again. You naturally do better or you go out of business. Whereas nowadays they're protected by this intermediary wholesaler who's like, oh, I don't know anything about weed because I'm the government. And it's made it worse, 100% worse. I managed a dispensary before legalization, and subsequent to legalization, the quality of marijuana has gone way down. It's unfortunate. It's not in every legalized state, because some states looked at it like wine. They said, oh, the people that do this already know how to do this. We don't really need to intrude that much. We'll just take some tax revenue from it. Those are the smart places. Just take your revenue and get the fuck out of the way. But governments that want to get involved and think that that's the way, they are the ones that know how to regulate it, you'll regulate it out of business. So that's the way it is. I love marijuana because everybody can get different parts out of it, and it doesn't have to be crazy people getting high all the time. But I think that it's important that the government keeps their fucking greasy paws out of it. The reason I started talking about keef, but when you're a trimmer, right? Like, so when you hand trim a product versus machine trimming. So what they'll do is they'll put it in a machine that spins it really fast and gets all the leaves off, but all the keef comes off too. Like, it's just, it's hard to explain that the organic and boutiqueness of marijuana is of the utmost importance if you're trying to use it for the best quality. And I personally think that no huge grower could ever impress me. Like, try it. It's an open invitation. Take me for a tour. Make me eat my words. I'll eat them. I'll do it on camera, but I doubt you can. That's my true, challenge.
That request, Mr. Jackson, like I said, I struggle with this one because I understand the situation, but listen, man, you're a grown up. And so, you just have to, sometimes kids do things and they make you mad and you want to do a lot worse than even what you did. I get it. I have children, but you have to be the adult and set the example, just like I told a young lady earlier. You know what I mean? You have to find a constructive way to do it. And it's harder, especially with children these days. Trust me, I get it. But you don't need to be here for stuff like this. You understand me?
That's it.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Jackson, good luck to you. Let's not see you here again, okay?
Yeah, fine. All right. Next, Mr. Lawson.
All right, what's your
Y'all, when I managed the dispensary, it was a passion because people would come in, especially elderly people, and there is a real joy to being able to help somebody without really costing them anything in the grand scheme of things. Like when I started working for the dispensary I worked at, it became obvious to me that I became a community resource. That there were people that came in every day that bought 1 to 3 grams a day at different points in the day, but they were also checking in with me or with my staff. It became clear to me that there were people I was dealing with that were coming off of opiates or dealing with withdrawal with other drugs, or people that were bringing family or friends there because they trusted what we offered. I took the time with every single person to find out what they needed. I didn't sell them anything they didn't need it. And I never recommended smoking marijuana if you've never smoked weed before. Why would I ever do that? That's not the way to go. I have so many other delivery methods to help people with what they need, but I'm a pretty persuasive person. And so if somebody comes in and says, I want to cut down on the amount of weed that I smoke, I could sell them a lip balm that has the tiniest amount of THC in it. But when I reinforce to them that, hey, if you take the time when you want to smoke a joint, you go ahead, you apply the lip balm, you wait 10 minutes, you think about it, you'll get through that craving. It gives them the ability to do that. Or when I say to somebody, they say, I want to go to sleep. And I say, okay, we're going to start with the bath bomb. And you're going to have a bath bomb and you're going to take this edible at this time and you're going to do this and that. The bath bomb's not going to do anything necessarily, but it is going to do something if I set it up correctly. And so what I think people don't realize is that pharmaceutical sales and doctors who have the ability to impart basically confidence in what they're giving to somebody have the ability to make their experience different. Eliminating the responsibility of feeling high is the first thing you need to do. When you first start out using marijuana, not feeling high the first time is not a failure. That's just learning. And that's the way that you do it. You don't double dose right away. That's how you get yourself in trouble. You just take that as a new way that you've learned that your body figures something out and you move on to the next day. But there's ways that you can lead yourself into properly dosing and dealing with it that can help you overall. There's creams, there's lots of different things. And I miss being able to spend, we had 30, 40 jars. I used to get fucking, the pictures that you see when the police do a raid used to be my desk on a Monday morning. There'd be 30 pounds of weed on the desk, maybe written with a Sharpie on it with different names. And I would have to weigh in the weed, name it, decide on the price, and then go forth from there. We used to keep weed in jars because that's a pretty good way to keep it, especially since we had that. See, there's Jenna Marbles. I told you, I've been watching Jenna unstoppably. And we used to stock in the weed like that. The best way for people to tell what weed they want is by smell. And so we would often just open the jars and let people smell them. And that's how you really hone in on what people need. I never smoked any weed until after I was 18 years old because It just wasn't part of who I was as a kid. But as an adult, it became a pretty integral part of who I was, but a very secretive and hidden part of who I was. I was scared shitless that CPS would come around my house and try and figure out where my weed stash was and take away my kid. Unnecessarily, because I held a job and I did all the things that a mom needed to do, but I was still scared of that for some reason. I never bought weed on my own. I never went to a dispensary or anything like that. All of that happened after I got a divorce, and I learned I had to be independent and learn how to do those things, or had to stop. Those were the two choices. And luckily for me, I not only started to learn it, but I was able to get into the industry and really realize, oh my God, this is great. I love it here. I love being able to help people find what helps them. Some people need to sleep, some people need to wake up, some people need to, there's a million different things. You tell me what it is. When somebody tells you what their problem is, and I go, are you kidding? I have the perfect thing for that. Oh my God, are you serious? We can fix that. And then I go off and I get the product and I come back and I'm like, okay, here's exactly how you're going to do it. And it has to be like this. And you do X. And then you do Y. And then you're going to think you want to do the next thing, but you can't do that. And you walk them through it. And then I say, and what I need you to do next is you need to come back and tell me what happened. And if it didn't work perfectly, we're going to figure out how to make it work perfectly for you. Like, I'm telling you, people do very well when they have that kind of confidence. And I have confidence that marijuana doesn't hurt, even in high doses. It really does. And so I feel very confident being able to show people the way of that, but not alone. Like, I really do mean it. I have to give the advice and I need to know that they're going to take it. I remember one time this guy bought this he walked in like he knew what he was talking about. He was like, I'm going to get the blueberry muffin. I was like, yeah, no problem. Go ahead. It's like a 300 milligram blueberry muffin. So in reality, an experienced person, I would say, should divide that in 3 and take the 100 milligrams or 130, 110 milligrams when they're wanting to relax, He bought that, and in between paying for it and like chit-chatting, he ate it. And then was like, oh, was that a big dose? And I was like, no. Okay, you have about 12 minutes to decide what you're going to do. He's like, what? I'm like, you need to decide what you're going to do. Do you live close to here? He's like, what? I was like, you need to you're about to have 8 hours wherever you are. So you need to make your decision as to where you're going to be. And like, you have to be real sometimes like that. That's why they don't like people to consume in the dispensary. Because you can get fucked up. Oh, we had couches. We had it all. But I was still like, you should get home. Like, this will be much more comfortable at home. I guarantee you. Like, go home. And he did end up going home. But I also had patients who were like 330 milligrams a day chocolate bars. And I was like, dude, like, I felt like a bit of a pharmacist. I was like, hey, are you doing okay? You're buying a 330 milligram fucking chocolate bar a day. Like, I'm going to be frank with you. That's pretty high dose THC, and I'm a pretty high dose THC user. And he was like, yeah, I'm an opiate user, and this is what I use. And I was like, hey, never mind. Handy P, he's like, if I'm going to be passed out on a couch, I would much rather be passed out on a couch from this than passed out on a couch from opiates. And I was like, absolutely no problem. And the problem that I have with our legalized system is that he can't purchase that amount of drugs legally anymore because of what the government says is safe or not. And it's silly to me. So he would have to literally spend like over $350 per day and go to 3 or 4 different dispensaries in order to get that amount of THC in his system. Whereas before, he could come to one place, buy one chocolate bar, eat the chocolate bar, be done for his day. It's a baffling system. I literally applied for a job within the system, got an application, but again, when you admit that you've been employed in the pre-legal system, that actually works against you. They don't want to hear from you, even though you know how the system works. So that's just the way it is. But if anybody needs a consultant in your area, which is pre-legalization or getting there, remember me? I'm actually, no, but I am really good at, like, there are some really cool ways that you can jump into the market in a great way that are not bad, but that are really, really unique. And I wish that our location allowed that, but not, they don't, but some do. So keep that in mind.
Your name?
When you go around, come on, man.
Are you Mr. Johnson?
Oh, Lawson. Oh, Lawson.
I gotta get a special key.
Wait, who have I got?
That's Mr.
Mr. Charles Lawson.
Oh, okay. Why am I not? Give me just a second, Mr. Lawson.
Larry Beaver.
I know I have your paperwork.
Somebody bring key.
See, I think I was early.
Ooh, just a second. Lawson. Charles Lawson. Let me. Let's see Mr. Lawson, because I have his paperwork here somewhere, but it might have gotten mixed in with someone else's. Let me get let's hold him. I'm sorry, Mr. Lawson. I've got your paperwork here somewhere, but I just need to find it. So we'll come back to you, okay?
What do you say, Mr. Lawson?
I gotta get somebody else.
Okay. Next.
No, I got him because I marked him.
First and last name, remove the last. First and last name, please. Right, look like.
I said, we don't have, we just, we don't have the.
All right, Mr. Moffett, you are charged with misdemeanor, no driver's license, misdemeanor improper lane change, and misdemeanor destruction of a mailbox. The driver's license charge is 1,000, lane change is 500, and the mailbox is 500. So your total bond is $2,000. Okay. They're all misdemeanors. Your next court date is on August the 22nd. And if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire an attorney, or one can be appointed for you. What would you like to do?
I need an attorney.
Okay.
He just finished what?
All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
No question. No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, all right, good luck to you.
Next.
I was going to put a quarter in there.
All right, sir, you are charged with one count of misdemeanor battery. The bond is 3,500. And then one count of cruelty to children. And the third, I'm dismissing that charge against you. So I dismiss one charge and the bond on the first one is 3,500. Okay. You have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with Sharonda Alexander. Do not have any contact with her. Okay.
I got two questions.
Yeah, I'll let you ask a question. Just give me a second. Okay. Oh, your next court date is August the 22nd, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that particular court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do before you ask your question? You want a court-appointed or you want to hire your own?
Yeah, I take a public defender.
Okay.
Who's covering?
Okay. All right. What's your question?
Shit, she got my son. That's the only thing I care about.
I understand.
How can I communicate this? You know, get my son for her while I have no problems.
Sure. You're not the first person to have this issue, Mr. Roseborough. What you need to do is work through third parties for it. I'm just going to give you an example. This is not legal advice, but through the grandmothers, through the grandfathers, you're not to have any contact with her. But if it relates to, your child, you can contact them about getting your child. Okay. It's a difficult situation, but you're not the first person that's been in this. Secondary to that, you can, if appropriate, you can have an attorney file a motion to modify your bond conditions to where you can have no violent contact with her. But again, you'll need to speak to your attorney about that procedure. Okay. Almost done.
Judge, dude, what are you doing? As usual, get me when I'm texting inappropriate things. Fine, let me pay attention. Would you guys like to see my Tinder one day? Oh, Judge says no.
We lost the court, so we'll just stand by until they get back. I'm in the sheriff's department.
Judge, legit. I was on my phone texting. Sexty nexties. Sexty texties. Let's see what he's saying. I can't share them right now, Judge. They're too secret and too special. I'm trying to fast forward. What the fuck? What the fuck, Judge?
You
Judge, you were okay.
Grandparents, either your parents or her parents, about seeing the child, or you're going to have to get creative, but you can't deal with her directly. Okay. And then second to that is you can discuss with your attorney about filing a motion to modify the bond conditions to where you can have no violent contact with her. But they'll be the ones to know how to do it and what to put in there and things of that nature. Okay. So just, you know, I'm not saying that it's easy, but again, you're not the first person that this has ever happened to. It's going to be difficult, but you're just going to have to be creative. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
Any other questions?
so that pretty much it. I just want to know how I'm gonna see my son. That's all.
I understand. Well, I appreciate you wanting to be in your son's life. That's a good thing that's a good attitude.
Oh, for sure. Always.
All right. Good luck.
The rest of them see from before.
What's your name?
Amari Sims.
All right, Mr. Sims. Mr. Sims, you are charged with one count of obstruction of an officer, misdemeanor. I'm dismissing the case against you. It doesn't mean that, well, I don't have enough evidence to say that this rises to the level of criminality. But as you can see, when you're interacting with police officers, you need to be a little bit more wise on what you do and how you listen and how you react to what they're telling you, right? Because you still ended up in jail for some amount of time, and I imagine that you don't like being there. So just I'm all for standing up for your rights and asserting them, but just know that sometimes that carries consequences. Now, luckily in this situation, it worked out in your favor, and I'm dismissing it. But just be mindful next time of what your reaction is. If you don't like something, you know, even if you're right, sometimes it has consequences, and it's probably best that you just not have been here at all. All right. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. As long as you don't have any holds, you'll be good to go in a little bit. What's your name?
Darius Stevenson.
All right, Mr. Stevenson.
Get on the elevator.
Mr. Stevenson, you are charged with one count of battery, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is $5,000. One count of misdemeanor criminal trespass, the bond is $1,000. You're not to have any contact with Miss Gatson, Bridget Gatson. It's my understanding that she was also taken into custody, and I told her not to have any contact with you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let me see. Okay, y'all live at different places, so
yeah, we live in different places.
Okay, you don't have anything at that Alpine address, do you? Do you need to get anything from there?
No, sir. I think the officers took my stuff into their custody, but I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, then just don't go over there. Y'all chill. Let the situation die down, and then let the legal process work its way through. Your next court date is August the 22nd, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to a court-appointed attorney.
Oh my God, there's an hold on.
Consider for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I would like to talk about how Bridget's a bit of a hoe. Holy shit. But here's the thing. I'll post the song in Discord later. That's what I'll do. I'm a hoe. I know I've made people probably get arrested. I don't think I've made any. Have I made any? Okay, here's a poll. Have you ever gotten somebody arrested because of how deep their love for you was? That's a good poll question. I have to think about that. I think the answer is no.
I don't know the difference, but I'm planning on bonding out. The total is 600, didn't you say?
Well, it's between 10 and 20%. So typically 600 to 1,200. But my question to you is, what do you want to do about a lawyer? Do you want to be considered for a court-appointed attorney, or do you want to hire your own?
Oh, a court one.
Okay, I will do that. Do you have any questions about your case, Mr. Stevenson?
No.
Oh, Cellulite Yoga Pants, I love you.
Are good to go. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am 100% guilty of getting most men that I've been with better jobs more confidence and like trying to teach them. Oh my God. I can't even tell this story because it's not appropriate. But let's just say I'm not a good union employee. Let's just put it at that. I'm not a good union employee. I tend to find ways to skirt the rules. I like to make things efficient. Unions don't like efficiency. Yeah, let's just, yeah.
Great time, you know, the first section, that's gonna be to your left.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Delon Woods.
All right, Mr. Woods. You are charged with one count of simple battery. The bond is $3,500, which is a misdemeanor, and one count of aggravated assault. That is a felony. The bond is $20,000. Your total bond is $23,500. Do not have any contact with Nigel Blackman, and do not return back to 1711 Brookstone Ridge in Atlanta. Your next court date is going to be on August the 23rd. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court attorney.
Okay, I will grant that request.
Yes.
Do you have any questions about your case?
I'm not sure if I can request this, but I was wondering, could I get a lower bond? If it's possible.
Well, your attorney can file a motion for one, but I'm not going to set one at this time. I'm not going to set a lower one, put it that way. Okay. Any other questions?
Can you repeat my bond for me?
$23,500.
Okay.
All right. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
I appreciate it.
We have Mr. Johnson.
Peace out. A-Town.
Johnson. Yeah, Johnson.
I have Derek Johnson. He might have, I don't know if he bonded out. It's 2 misdemeanor.
Okay, yeah. I think he might have bonded out. We still have Mr. Charles Lawson here.
Correct. Okay, so I'm putting
Charles Lawson. That's a crazy way to say that. Charles. Also, there's only like, it looks like nothing when you see the end of it, but really that's 5 minutes of time. So I'll shut up.
All right.
Yes.
Give me just a moment. Let me go off camera real quick and try and find Mr. Lawson's paperwork, because I marked that I had him and I filled out his paperwork. So give me just a moment. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I sang a song last night that I recorded that I will never once play. But y'all keep getting to my head saying I'm a good singer, and I'm not a good singer. But it's, yeah, I feel like that's the deepest troll I've ever gotten. It's like, hey, she's really shit at singing. Let's convince her she's good at singing. That's the type of troll I'm into. And I get it, but it's like super duper mean. Lawson's paperwork's missing. Yes. Also, Larry's not around. Okay, he's back. He's back. I was practicing a different song other than Happy Birthday.
All right, Mr. Lawson, you are charged with 1 misdemeanor count of criminal trespass. The bond is $15,000. And the reason why the bond is typically higher is that this is the same charge from the same place over and over and over again. You have a special condition to not go back to 93 Upper Riverdale Road in Riverdale, but you keep going back there. They don't want you there. Okay. The next court date is on August the 22nd. But if you bond out, you're not going to have to go to that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want a court-appointed attorney or do you want to hire your own attorney? Or, Mr. Lawson, do you understand what I've asked you?
Yeah. When they go to court.
I'm sorry?
When you said it.
Your next court date is on August the 22nd.
What's the day now?
Hmm?
What's the day now?
Today is July the 23rd, so approximately 3 weeks from today, approximately.
Who you say you trying to get jail or bond out?
Well, if you bond out, then you don't have to go to court on the 22nd. But if you're still in custody, then you'll be in court. They'll take you to court. Okay. But what do you want to do about a lawyer? Do you want to hire one or do you want me to appoint one?
Yeah,
You're going to hire one?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll put that on there if for whatever reason that changes.
Today 22nd between what?
22nd. 22nd.
And today the 23rd.
Today's the 31st. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
So I went through the process and bond out already.
Yeah, but that's for a different case. This is a new case.
Yeah, this new case about something like last night. I mean, just I called my social security company. And I got a bond up.
Well, you'll have to talk to them about that, Mr. Lawson. All right.
Yeah, so you don't have no paperwork on charge I can buy out?
No, I don't.
Because they sent me in the room with no paper, no carousel carousel TV, no phones, and I don't have no resource to bond it out. I mean, they put me in the room with no screw there, no phone.
You'll have to take that up with the deputies, Mr. Lawson. I can't do anything else for you. All right. Good luck to you.
Okay. Now, tell I'm got schizophrenic. I don't know why I'm up in the room with everybody.
Again, you'll have to work that out with them.
Come on, yeah, they sent me in the room up there with everybody, and I got schizophrenic. And then people up there telling me they're gonna fight me and everything. I keep telling them I need to go to the room, but they won't let me go. Bro, you're done.
That's all that I have.
All right. Yeah, all right, Mr. Lawson, we done.
So
You're done, Mr.
I'm
Lawson.
asking why y'all take me in the room with
Mr. Lawson, you'll talk to them down there. Come on, let's go. All right, y'all, that's everybody.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
We'll get in there. Go hurry up, sir.
Okay, that was a little bit fucked up. Hold on, let me just I don't know what was happening there. I have to be honest, I was singing. Sometimes you just gotta sing. It's the way you get through life is by singing. And that's what I was doing. If it is somebody's birthday this month coming up, I appreciate that and I will happily sing to you on your birthday. I hope that you've all had a wonderful night. I have. It's been almost 4 hours. Is that possible? You know, people always accuse me. They're like, "Wow, do you just like stream super long so that you can get all your hours?" No, I stream super long because I selfishly love the attention and the praise that I get over time. So I just keep doing it. It has nothing to do with the watch hours whatsoever. But seriously, I hope you guys had a wonderful night. I have a few things to do tonight. Like, when I say a few, I mean I have about 7 critical items that I need to take care of tonight. But if I don't, will be catastrophic in my life. The likelihood of me doing those, very slim. So I appreciate all of you being here to witness the last night of me being like this. No, I'm just joking. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Please go ahead and like that video if you haven't already. Make sure that you're subscribed already because each one of you makes me come a little bit in my pants. And join the Discord. It's fun. My office is there. The door is always open. Come check in with me if you have any questions, concerns, weird shit you want to talk about. I'm the coolest boss you've ever had. Also, if you need a reference, I'm happy to give a reference. It's not going to be a lie. It'll be true. But I'll give you a reference based on your YouTube interaction with me to an employer. That's 100% true. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Channel Rhett and Link. Channel Loving You the Most. That, as far as anybody knows, we're a normal family. Don't turn around. Dream big. I love you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Also, Visitation Day with Larry Beaver will be this weekend coming up. There will be a Visitation Day with Larry Beaver. He's having family visits at his rehab center. Please look for details in the Discord. Thank you.